High school sports are as American as apple pie. And going to a game or meet is a chance to see the stars of tomorrow shine today. But as anybody who's ever attended a high school sporting event in Wisconsin knows, you can't have the stars without the stripes. High schools are currently looking for new officials in almost every sport. Who looks good in stripes? Anybody looking for a way to stay connected to a sport they love. If you like the idea of giving back to your community while earning a few extra bucks, chances are you'd look good in stripes too. We want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. No officials means no games. No stripes means no stars. And what kind of America would that be? Wisconsin needs more high school officials. Go to highschoolofficials.com to sign up or learn more. That's highschoolofficials.com.
I'm Doug Russell. Terrible news from Green Bay. Packers running back Josh Jacobs arrested Tuesday. He faces 5 charges stemming from a domestic incident over the weekend. Jacobs, through his attorney, vehemently denies the allegations. The Packers say they are aware of the charges but have no comment beyond that. Better news, the beat goes on for the Brewers.
And Mitchell a drive to center. It's back. It is gone. 3-run bomb for Garrett Mitchell.
Jeff Levering on the call on Brewers TV. The Crew clobbered the Cardinals 6-0. Kyle Harrison spectacular again. He pitches 6 shutout innings, scattering 4 hits, striking out 2. Meanwhile, the beat goes on in the other direction for the Cubs. They've now lost 10 straight. The Pirates clobbering Chicago 12-1 at PNC Park. And from the NBA, the Thunder beat the Spurs 127-114. Oklahoma City up 3-2 in that series. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 dead.
You got to cut and crack. Now it's cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We're going to tackle what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get out now, and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, be hand, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip, don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Buckle up. It's a Wednesday edition of the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube for all you early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths standing outside the health club waiting for them to open at 5 o'clock. Welcome in. And gentlemen, this is supposed to be low tide in the sports calendar, and lo and behold, it is not. Our red-hot Brewers took one from the Cardinals, winning a game and a series, another shutout, and another pitching gem marred by Abner Uribe doing the triple crotch chop.
And we got 2 words for you, St. Louis. Whoa! Not much better. Not much will fire me up better than that one. Oh, that text was phenomenal.
Can you imagine if that pitch got overturned? That was the only thing I could think of. I was like, wow, that's going to be awkward. But then again, in his mind, he's probably like, oh, no, I'm going to do it twice.
So then
I'll fire it back in there.
Abner then afterwards, after the triple crotch chop, he goes ahead and apologizes to everybody except the Cardinals.
Except the Cardinals and except
proceeds
Ali
to say that Ali Marmol was making gestures about hitting key members of the Brewers offense, and that's what he took umbrage to.
But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about that.
Part of that, and that's a layer that, well, okay. I know there's a lot of greaseball stuff, and when you're watching a game, I always said that, I was a trained observer and I knew like 30% of what was happening on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of it, sometimes stuff goes back to A ball. Sometimes stuff, the rivalries run deep,
baby.
It just, okay. Sometimes, guys will celebrate a home run. It's like, oh, that's because he hit me an A ball. Like, oh, really? How long?
You remembering that one? Okay.
5 years ago, he hit me, so I had to celebrate that home run. Okay. The game within the game, if you will. So that happens. And then we get the Josh Jacobs thing, rocking the good ship Green Bay Packers as they're heading into OTAs in the offseason. And given the multitude and the severity of the charges against Josh Jacobs, you can't be flip about it, and you can't say, how's this going to affect the running back game? They're going to have to make a trade. You can't immediately go to your fantasy team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just, in your head, you have to kind of not. You also have to, again, it's not of intelligence, keep two competing thoughts in your head at the same time. Josh Jacobs deserves the presumption of innocence, just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he is in a very public position, and the league has its bylaws and contracts have their codicils, and we don't know what this means big picture, and we can't know yet. And it looks lame, and I know people are ripping the Packers and the NFL for their statement saying, we are aware of the situation. They're talking to parties, but what else can they say?
But it is ongoing.
Yeah, it's you can't say. I don't even know if he's out of the lockup yet. Like, we don't know. I don't know. The incident happened over the weekend. He surrendered and was arrested yesterday. He's going to be facing 5 charges at this juncture, and I think he might still be in Brown County Jail.
I believe his arraignment would probably be later on today. I'm not going to play lawyer like some people were doing online yesterday.
There were a lot of those guys.
But I from the 1 felony, 4 misdemeanor charges, like you said, Drew, they're severe to the point where you just can't pass it off to more of a football conversation. Although there is a football conversation to be had with it, a salary cap conversation to be had about it, and one that I thought we were maybe going to have more about Josh Jacobs during the offseason. This one would probably spark it up maybe again, not necessarily post June 1st, but it's the delicate balance in life, especially I don't wish it upon anybody. We don't want this situation to ever happen in any walk of life. However, like you said, you do deserve at least your day in court to explain the side of the story. And that was one part that Doug Russell mentioned in the update that I thought was adding another layer and probably another couple of months to the story. Like, this isn't something that's just going away. This is going to be a probably year-plus long situation because as Josh Jacobs' lawyer said, they're vehemently denying the charges. So this is not going to go away. However, it's a morning that you hate having because we haven't had one in a while up in Green Bay.
Absolutely. It's a good point, Billy. I was trying to think, kind of going back to these types of situations off the field, guys getting in trouble. It has been a while, and that's usually one thing we take pride in Green Bay. We enjoy, or I don't know what the right word is. We kind of celebrate as, hey, our guys are usually not in trouble. Obviously a terrible situation, no way to look at it. And you brought up the point, and it's true. Obviously we'll get due process. His lawyer's urging restraint. All that is true, and he will get it. However, you get it from the legal system. You don't get it from the court of public opinion. Unfortunately, that's the reality of this world, the reality of the privilege of playing the NFL. And you don't necessarily get the privilege of playing that job, right? So both of those things are not promised to anybody. And the court of public opinion surely is going to run with this one as well. A lot we don't know about the case, and to your point, guys, a lot we might not know for a while. But the football conversation, although it's obviously secondary in terms of importance in the grand scheme of things, it's one that most people are going to worry about and care about and think about in this situation. But those questions, I'm sure, will get answered in due time. But just a terrible situation, terrible news to see. And I'll be honest with you, and maybe I have to be careful saying this because just by the nature of saying it means I'm passing judgment. It's a guy I probably least expected to be in trouble. The way he kind of seemed as a leader, as that type of guy, the way he went about
our
his
awesome
business.
interaction with him down at the Super Bowl last year.
Albeit short. Obviously, we don't know him based on that, but it was a good interaction. The business, it seemed like he was about, at least on the field, the leadership he showed in the locker room. I'll be honest with you, it was one of the last guys I expected to be in trouble with this type of situation. So we'll have to see what comes next, but a lot of murky waters for sure.
You can say that, but again, it just, whenever He was a quiet man. I never would have expected. You can live next door. How well do you know somebody? You don't know. But again, 5 counts. Strangulation being the heaviest one. Felony assault.
And that's the one felony. The other 4 misdemeanor ones.
I mean, criminal damage to property. Okay. I mean, did he break his own property? Did he break somebody else's? Like, what was he doing?
Well, and that's just the thing.
Was this public? Was this we don't know that. That's just it. We don't know the details, and you rush to fill in the gaps. But the thing is, like, there's a couple things at play here. You don't really know these guys. Seemed like a good guy, but then there are some people that seem like jerks in the media that are actually good guys that are well regarded.
Yeah, well said. There's a lot that you don't know. So
there's a lot we don't know. You can't pretend to know. You tend to know because you watch them and spend so much time, invested in their exploits that you feel like you develop an association, but you don't really know. And then again, Packers are a business. What does it say? Like he totally deserves the presumption of innocence, as does everybody in our legal system. It's the foundation of our legal system. But at the same time, Packers are running a business here. And if this guy's going to be suspended, they have to make contingencies. They have to do, they have to do their due diligence.
Oh, you got to add somebody.
Start looking around like, hey, that Braylon Allen be a good fit coming back to Wisconsin now that they signed Brees Hall. Hey, that Jonathan Taylor, they tried to get him a couple of years ago. He's got Wisconsin ties, good player. You have to start looking around and thinking about that. They have to cover their bases too.
Well, and luckily for the Packers, there's a number of different free agent running backs that are still hanging out there of guys that are name brands, albeit older name brands, guys that you don't necessarily know where their productivity is at this point. But I would assume, Drew, going into the draft, I thought backup running back was one of their sneakier big needs. And this year's draft didn't necessarily bode well for a team that was looking to add a second running back with only 7 draft picks or 6 draft picks after you trade a couple to continually move up. So it just wasn't necessarily in the cards this year. We still are waiting to see if there's anything coming back from Marshawn Lloyd, but Najee Harris is out there. There's Austin Eckler who would be available. Skeletal remains of Nick Chubb would be available. So like it's an interesting one, but when you start looking at like a trade market, it's post June 1st that everybody looks at for potential deals on cap savings. I don't believe Jacobs' potential cap savings would be a massive situation this year post June 1st. It would be more of one next year. But there's also this league's built on second chances, and there's a number of different situations that you could point to last year. I believe a strangulation charge was one of the ones that initially was brought against Stephon Diggs. He played all last year, 1,000-yard receiver. There was no issue with it, and also ultimately went to the Super Bowl. So, like, it again, that sounds really, really harsh and brash, and not what the biggest part of the conversation would be about at this moment. But when you flip it to football, the NFL is built on second chances. Green Bay, though, has been one of those businesses, Drew, doesn't always opt to be the team that gives the second chance. They'll say, what, we do understand, and maybe somebody else will end up doing that.
That's true. And the Packers have done a pretty amazing job of staying out of the police blotter. The last thing I can remember was like the last, somewhat, even the headline was Zadarius Smith getting a speeding ticket and having gone on a little run.
Yeah.
South
having a couple of things wrapped up in the back seat, put it on me.
With Kenny and who else was in the car?
For a little bit of herb. Yeah, he had a couple teammates in the car. He was speeding and had
Johnny Jolly stuff. I think I remember
some herb. Yeah, Johnny Jolly was seems like a long time
ago. Sam Shields, long time ago.
The league police spotter. You're right. Stephon Diggs and Rashee Rice and there's a lot of
guys like
a lot of headlines in the league, and the Packers have done a good job avoiding that. Some people think it's because they're in this bucolic small town environment where it's all football and everybody supports the community. And some people say, well, this probably stuff has happened, but Green Bay would look the other way. And the cops would, no, that's, as we see,
I don't think that happens anymore. That's
really how it happens anymore. But so on the one hand, you have to think about, we don't know enough facts, but some people might be saying, well, I hope he can play for the Packers. Other people will say, cut him immediately.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you just I think you have to have that immediate take. Like, I don't know let's just find out more facts before we jump into a decision. Like, there are people that are going to crack microphones saying, that's time. I got to get rid of him. Got to move on. Can't have that. Got to carry the G. And the Packers may end up doing that, but I don't know at this point. And I think they'll give him every benefit of the doubt that he deserves.
Well, and that's why, Drew, like you said, some people will be very quick to judge and rip the Packers for the statement yesterday. But that's kind of what you have to do. At this point, you need to let the facts play out. You need to let the legal system play out. And Matt LaFleur, welcome back to the show today at 11:25, right back in front of the stanchion out there at the John Hudson Center. He walks right into his first media availability. Time to start talking.
PR 101 is just like, all right, we're aware of a situation with Josh. I don't really have any comment. We're doing our investigation. The police are doing their investigation. We don't have enough facts.
Leave it at that.
And that's all. And I can't answer any questions until we have more information.
And then about how many more questions get asked?
And then it'll be 30 more. You start bringing in some undrafted free agents. You're going to look dip into free agency. It's like, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Because as crass as the football side of it may seem, the reality is Goody and those guys have to do their duty and thinking about that. That's their job, and they're doing their duty if they don't.
Most contracts have a morals clause, and they have these kind of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that would be able to move around, you would assume. But again, if they did cut him, he would carry a dead cap hit this year after June 1st of about $3.1 million. It would free up some cap space in a post June 1st cut. But then again, I don't necessarily know what exactly you'd be spending that money on. But so it's a very, very dicey situation, and one that 2015 was the LaTroy Guion situation.
That's right.
It's been a long time since that. And generally speaking, Drew, Memorial Day weekend, not as big of the police blotter season, right? That a lot more times happens. July 4th weekend is a lot more of that time when everybody's gone that you wait to see. And it's one of those deals that you hate to have to discuss, but we're sitting here this morning and it's one of the captains of the Green Bay Packers. That's a hell of a story.
All right. What if take the Josh Jacobs thing, if it had not happened, what are the top 3 questions LaFleur would have been asked today?
Something about
camp,
my guess would be something about Tucker Kraft's availability, right? How are you going to start finding ways to maybe get him closer? Because you would think and presume Tucker would be the first to return from the massive injuries, right?
Trending that way, yeah.
Kraft and Tom and Parsons happened in the Denver game. A couple weeks before that is Devontae Wyatt, but just at the beginning of November was Kraft, and everything trending towards that he would be closer to being able to return and sooner rather than later. And then maybe 1 or 2 really, really random off the wall, like Jonathan Gannon or Cam Acord questions of wanting to see how they're going and how are you expecting Cam and Jonathan to be adapting and working with the guys on the field here today? Now that you're on the grass, with the entire team, what are you excited to see from those guys? Something really, really random that, frankly, I don't even know that he would have had an answer for.
Yeah, and then probably something about, did you get Jordan and Veronica a baby gift yet? One of those type of questions.
How was the beer at the Luke Combs concert?
Yeah, something like that. Something fun for that maybe. Have you talked to your brother yet? What's it like? Both being head coaches, one of those deals. So I think those are the main questions. But I think the injury questions would be the one that would have been, like Billy said, Tucker. And then obviously everyone's wondering about Micah. Although I think most people assume Micah will be taking the first 4 games off. But we'll see. We don't know. We don't know. So it'll be interesting, though, today. Things have changed. That's for sure.
Things have definitely changed. There would have been a Jordan Morgan left tackle question or 2.
Possibly.
How do you get Matthew Golden and,
Are you excited to see Marshawn Lloyd back on the field? Well, the Marshawn Lloyd one's definitely happening now.
I mean, if there's a year for you to stay healthy, Marshawn, this is the one.
This would be it.
We need you, buddy. Come on. Let's go.
This would be it. 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. And again, sports reflect life. And if this is indeed, as it would appear, like if this is this has the sheen of a domestic violence thing, that's a problem in society, not just sports, not just athletes.
Yeah, thank you, Drew.
Across the board.
Absolutely good
and
point.
It should never be like discounted or poo-pooed in any way, obviously. But again, this is magnified because it's a public figure. It's a team that we follow, and I get it. And it does in some ways feel gross to say, well, what are the Packers going to do at running back? But that's the reality of the business.
Like you just said, we're running a business here.
Yeah, they're running a business here. Like that's the reality of it. There's nothing, it's like, oh, we should abstain from having conversations about what they could possibly do. They're having those conversations. They have to
have those conversations.
So that's what, it's what we do with these. We try to project the cuts. We try to think about we try to inject ourselves and try imagine ourselves in their offices, in their meetings. Like, and that's kind of what we're doing
and
in a situation like this. And
I
I know it seems crass, but it is what it is.
It's what it is. And Drew, frankly, I'm a lot better at doing this than projecting onto the other side, right? Like at least if I'm starting to find the football part of the conversation, I think I'm a lot more adept to start talking about that than what the legal proceedings would transpire and the different levels that you go through and the timing and all that kind of stuff. All we know is that he'll have his first day in court probably today on the arraignment, and then we'll start seeing how the process rolls. And the other thing for the football side is, generally speaking, NFL doesn't levy something like this or a suspension down for something like this until there's video or a conviction. Video or a conviction. Those are the two things that a lot of times happen. And we've seen it. The NFL, though, has a big time heavy hand with stuff like this, rightfully so.
Yeah, and we've also seen really quick, guys, a lot of times when reacting initially and rapidly doesn't always go well. So that's why, as much as that's a human instinct that we all have, is to react that way, and people will say make the move now. You have to give it a little time and see what's to come. So
you have to,
you
have to. And it's, again, you don't want to sound callous because everything's different, but when a guy like blows out his ACL, you start looking around the league. Well, how quickly did other guys come back? Now you start to go, well, what happened to other guys in similar situations that ran afoul of the law? So, yeah, it's interesting times. Like, again, sports and society, like people say, oh, sports is where I go for my refuge. Well, here's a crime story.
Here's where it crosses in.
Will Levis is going through it with a social media with some leaked video. And
I'd be so mad if my mom said that.
And that is, again, sports is you can try to separate it and make sports my oasis, but life always intrudes because sports is a part of the fabric of society. Sports reflects society. Problems in society are also problems in sports, period.
And they're real human beings in there.
Exactly.
They're human beings, real living, breathing beings. And it's not a,
we'll take your thoughts. We'll try to have, and it's so hard to do in this era, like a nuanced and kind of like reserved discussion about it.
Because, we like to talk about character when it's good. So you have to talk about it when it's not so good either.
That's where maybe we are better off to just talk about the free agent running backs.
Well, it's either
you did a great job with the
it's
lawyer
either
stuff.
Police blotter Packers or the triple crotch chop Brewers.
We're gonna get to that too.
We got a lot.
By the way,
unpack.
not the first time we've seen that around here. I'll mention that.
We'll get Hunter Baumgardt's recap. We're also Dolph comes back today, and Hunter had occasion to chat with Josh Maurer about the Ueck documentary.
Awesome,
because we wanted to have Josh on the show, but we also didn't want to subject him to our hours when he's coming off a night game.
Smart
so
move,
Hunter's got an interview in the bank for us, and we will spin through that with. So Josh Maurer is going to join the show today via Hunter Baumgardt. We got Dolph, we got Hunter. And we got you along for the ride. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
for Garrett Mitchell.
Jeff Levering bringing us back. Brewers TV. Brewers 6, Cardinals 0. They've won the series. We'll go for the sweep this afternoon. 12:40 first pitch at American Family Field. We were so busy talking about Abner Uribe and the triple crotch chop and Josh Jacobs with the 5 charges that we didn't get our firsthand response, our firsthand report from Armen, producer of the Huddle.
Ooh, yeah, I guess.
The ball game last evening was in the house.
Great night, by the way.
How was it? The first roof open night game of the season.
Which is kind of hard to believe, but I guess it was true. And boy, did we pick the right one. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful, and the sun was coming down. The breeze started. It was hot, but not humid. So just a great night at the ballpark.
Were you there with the little
we
sprout?
were, yeah. So we couldn't stay all night, obviously, but we were up there. So she had a great time. We were up kind of near the tarps off situation where they were in the past. But of course, I liked last night that they had flashed in the scoreboard that anyone wanting to participate in tarps off could meet in the in like the left field deck area, and I guess do it together. So they're kind of trying to make it right and organize it and stuff
work
like that. No, didn't really seem like it did.
No,
right?
Well, it's also a flawed concept because I believe you got to be 21 to go on that Miller Lite landing.
Right, and a lot of those kids aren't 21.
No one hanging out there in the tarps off section is 21.
Yeah,
now, there might be
Yeah.
one or two, but it looked like a bunch of 15-year-olds.
The tarps off thing, I don't know. It's been going on for years with kids that are between like 6 and 10.
Yeah, 100%.
At games for a while.
And in college football, it got big this year in college football.
Oklahoma
and it was
State, or where was it?
Yeah, and I mean even at Camp Randall in the snow game against Washington, I believe. It was pretty impressive stuff. It was a raucous group over there. But so it was hot again. And listen, any kind of communal experience that involves taking your shirt off, young men are going to be a part of, right?
Yes.
Like that's something that teenage boys are going to be a part of if it means that I get to wave my shirt around.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but I figured I was a little too old for it. Plus, it was a little early in the game for it. The closest I came to was when Lenna spilled her applesauce pouch on me, my shirt.
Well, it was, and that was the part. It was hot late into the game when they started calling out everybody's name and getting waves from Bowers and Rengifo and company. That's when you know you're actually doing it right over there in the tarp.
Yankee roll call.
Yeah, so you hit the whole roll call and get everybody to tap you up. That's a good one.
It was just a fun night to be there. Beautiful night at the ballpark. You know, Harrison did his thing again. Bowers getting us started off right, boys. He's been amazing. So, Brewers 3.5 up in the Central. Life is good right now for Brewers fans.
Cubs just can't stop losing.
Yeah, amazing.
It's a good night to be a Milwaukee Brewers fan.
How about having 3 10-game streaks, 2 wins, when he wins 2 losses, and it's not even June? Wow, it's crazy.
Pretty wild. What about the story we might have been sitting in here if not for the other things that are happening? Talking about, hey, Christian Yelich led off and got 3 hits.
Yeah, hard hit balls.
Yeah. I can't say I had that on my bingo card. All of a sudden, I see him over at first base after a little bit later moment to be able to log on to the Brewers TV. Wait a second, how's Yelich here? Oh, okay. All right. Mess around with it a little bit and have some fun. Rarely have they done that when they've rolled well or off of him hitting a bomb the day before. But however you mix and match it, and maybe that's another sign of Drew just trying to find more ways to find terrain guys on base. I don't know all the numbers in the analytics of this is the best spot to have somebody. That's the best spot to have somebody. This is where this guy should be hitting. That's where that guy should be hitting. This guy leads off more. This guy doesn't. This guy has more chances with guys on base. All I know is I like my best hitters to hit early.
Yeah.
Because then you generally might get one more at bat.
You want them in some kind of cluster. Your 3 or 4 best hitters in a cluster together. It doesn't really matter the order that much.
But just put the best ones up there.
Yeah.
Put the best
getting
ones near the
Yelich an
top.
extra plate appearance is never a bad thing.
No. Traditionally, a really good walk rate, obviously. So just a good guy to have in general on there if you want to get a guy on base.
And then the 2 big flies last night from Bowers and Mitchell were obviously the turn the tide.
Garrett Mitchell had been sitting on that one. He had been waiting on that one. Goodness gracious.
Good time to do it on his wife's birthday.
Harrison just shoving again, and you can take him for granted because he's in the shadow of Miz. But that, how often to go 6 strong the way he did, scoreless, he didn't strike out a lot of guys, didn't walk anybody, didn't give up a lot of hits,
not a bunch of
lot of traffic. That's just a really good start by a young man who's kind of establishing himself. And it's good that he's kind of in Miz's shadow, I think, rather than, well, you're the ace. You got to stop the losing streaks. You got to do all that. 92 pitches and 6 innings. Take it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that, Drew. Like,
just be solid, just be you.
Be you and go out there and ball. And he has been as good, if not better, than just about anybody else in ball from that left side. And I mean, the whip is maybe the best number of very similar to last night. It's like, yeah, you might get one guy on base an inning. You might get one guy on base an inning because otherwise there's just not a lot of traffic against him right now.
Yeah, no one went past second base. The nice thing about him is he's a change of pace from Miz in style as well. Obviously flips around lefty, more of a control guy. He can work the hook in. He works with what he has in terms of stuff that night too. It seems like he negotiates the lineup. He negotiates hitters. You know, you mentioned not a lot of strikeouts, but was getting a lot of ground balls early, was pitching to contact, let the boys play around him and found a way to get out of the woods every inning, which was, he wasn't in a lot of trouble all night, but he had some guys on, but he got out of it. Didn't have the benefit of the strikeout, didn't need it. It was one of those like Mike Caldwell starts, Drew, where he was just had the ground balls going and things were working for him. So Troy Casper on the YouTube and Mike Witt both asking about Garrett Mitchell raking. Yeah, he looks good. Troy Casper, last 10 been raking. Mike Witt, don't look now. Garrett Mitchell coming back around at the plate. That would be a nice thing. That would be a nice development for the Milwaukee Brewers lineup. That's for sure. If Garrett Mitchell starts to get it going a little bit, I know he's sort of a lightning rod for fans, but the potential is always there. So that would be pretty good to see. But all in all, good night. Brewers go for the sweep today.
Yep, 12:40 first pitch today. And Harrison, again, his exploits being bandied about with CC Sabathia for his 10-start ERA, which is lower than Sabathia's in 08.
Crazy. And just the change of pace difference, obviously Miz with the extension and the velocity and the heat, but Harrison's, cool 96 is nothing to sneeze at, right? Like it's an easy breeze over from the left side. He seems like he disguises the ball extremely well. And you just the little counting numbers, some people don't necessarily love them. If you go for Mizorowski and Harrison, now Miz might get one more start coming up on the 31st of the month. So these numbers won't be official, but those two would have combined for 59 and a third innings pitched in the month of May and combined to give up 4 earned runs.
Crazy. Just crazy.
4 earned runs
Just
and that
disgusting.
combined of 10 starts between the two. In the 1 month where they have completely flipped the scoreboard. And another reason why it's good to be a Brewers fan. Yeah, we mentioned the Cubs can't find their way out of their 10-game losing streak. I love seeing anybody with the 0-10 in the L10 column in the standings. And not a whole lot of days where you get to beat the St. Louis Cardinals and shut them down. Hit a DX suck move to them as well. Yeah. And watch the Cubs wake up in the morning in last place. That's a heck of a Tuesday night in the good land.
How the turntables turn, right, guys? How the turntables
Brewers
turn.
have won Harrison's last 7 starts, and they're 8-2 with him on the mound this year. And that's a record. Like, pitcher wins have been diminished as a stat, and it's not that important anymore. But I always look at what's the team's record when that guy starts, because it's the talk with Miz too. It's like, well, Miz is becoming that guy that there's an extra pep in your step going to the yard because we're going to win today. We got Miz.
Yeah, we get Miz.
All we got to do is score 1 run. We're going to be all right. There is a lift that comes with pitching, and pitching. Your starting pitching can affect your offense just by letting guys relax, and just the mental effect is real. I don't know if it's chartable by a stat or anything,
sure,
but there is something there.
Since the first start that he made in March against the Rays, where they lose 3-2. And if I'm not mistaken, they came back on from that game. Pause. You look at them winning all of these games, Drew, as well as getting a bunch of run support. Outside of the one loss to Washington, they've scored at least 4 runs in every one of his start. He's not going to give up a ton, so that 4 runs should probably be enough. But there's a couple of big-time offensive explosions in there. And Freddie Peralta last year, for as good as the ERA was, as polarizing as the innings pitched were and the pitch count into individual games, especially at American Family Field, when he pitched, they won. And I don't know how that gets quantified other than what you just said, belief, confidence, and also like Harrison didn't strike out as many, kept everybody active back there. I always thought that's probably the easiest and most fun way to play defense. It's great watching your guy continually K up dudes, but it does have to be a little bit difficult to get yourself into a full rhythm when that's the case. And instead, Harrison's getting you action throughout the game and getting a bunch of dudes out. That's a hard thing to pass up.
Got a bunch of dudes out with not a lot of swing and misses.
No.
He said he didn't have his best stuff.
Right. He worked with what he had. Yeah.
But he also got ahead, and that's one thing the Brewers have been doing so well is just getting ahead of hitters. Like I was talking about Miz, like he doesn't go to many 3-ball counts anymore.
Not at all.
No, that's usually the death.
You're not trying
right?
to throw it into a little teacup there because he doesn't mess around, and guys got to start early. So last night, Harrison, first pitch strikes. He faced 23 batters, 16 first pitch strikes. Pretty good.
8 ground ball outs, I believe.
Pretty good. And then he also Harrison had 7 ground ball, 10 ball outs. In terms of called strikes, he had 16, 4 swings and misses, 24 foul balls, and 21 strikes that were put into play. So that's he's around the zone, man. Just bang the zone with good stuff. Okay.
Right. And
sounds easy.
Especially if you don't, I don't have my best stuff here. All right. Well, you got one of the best defenses in all the ball behind you.
Go play, boys.
Yeah,
Let him hit it and see what happens.
Yeah, Hamilton had a pretty good night behind him.
He did. He really did.
Made the error early and then just made a couple of big plays. So
Drew, can you fill us in as the veteran scribe and the longtime member of the Baseball Writers Association in America? Does anybody look at the game score? Does anybody actually do like baseball guys know what the game? Because I've looked at it a number of different times and it just blew. I have no clue. I know you calculate it with like, hey, it's almost like the ACT. You put your name on and you spell it right, you get 14 points, right? You're going to get a certain amount of points. You get 50 points, I think, for like making the start. And it's one of my favorite things that nobody has ever looked over and glossed over. In the world of analytics, I would have thought you'd find an even better way to compute it, but it's just there. And however it rolls, him and Miz, shockingly so, have a couple of the best game score averages in all of baseball.
Yes.
It just means you're pitching deeper into games and not giving up a whole lot of action.
Another gift from Bill James. Bill James.
Yeah, the Godfather.
The game score. Yeah. Pitcher's overall effectiveness in a single game.
Trying to pare it down to those.
It goes from 0
numbers.
to 100,
Yeah.
and 50 is average replacement level performance. And so that's the formula.
You start with the baseline.
You start with 50.
This is phenomenal.
Start with 50. 3 points for every out recorded, plus 2 points for each inning completed after the 4th, plus 1 point for every strikeout. And then you lose 2 points for a hit allowed, lose 4 points for each earned run allowed. You lose 2 points for each unearned run allowed and 1 point for a walk.
This just, and all that sounds like is an online baseball simulation game, which is hilarious.
So it's like 50
too.
50 is average, 80 is dominant, and 100 would be, complete game shutout or a no-hitter or a perfect game. So it's like, okay.
Sounds like the first
80 is dominant. Last time out against the Cubs, Kyle Harrison's game score, 83.
Is that good?
Dominant.
Good. All right. So it matches up to what we were watching.
66, which was not dominant, but
pretty damn good.
Hard to remember 2 Brewer starters having a better month together. Although I'm sure it's happened.
It's happened.
Like in the 21, with Woodruff and Burns.
Burns and Woodruff would be
or,
right up there.
92, we had a lot of starters going crazy for a month. But, man, it's hard to get much better than what they've done.
Maybe not 2 younger guys doing it like this. I mean, 24 and 23. That might be might be the better caveat for it.
When we come back, we are going to hear from a young fella. Hunter Baumgardt, his recap of last night's proceedings. We're also going to hear from Hunter later in the program because he interviewed Josh Maurer for us talking about the Ueck documentary, which is about like 2 months away from hitting the theater, Marcus Theaters, I think. We will hear Hunter's interview with him. Dolph returns at 6:30 today as well. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Bowers, a deep drive to right. Back is Walker, still back, and Bowers wins. 1-0 Brewers on the 8th home run of the year by Bowers.
Rake Bowers with the home run last night. Brewers beat the Cardinals 6-0 at American Family Field with Armen Sarian and family in attendance.
Come on now.
Must have been part of
Tarps
it.
off segment.
Yeah.
33,000 souls at the ballpark last evening. 12:40 first pitch as the Brewers go for the sweep today. Off tomorrow and then on to Houston for a weekend series, if I'm not mistaken.
And just a beautiful night to be able to enjoy. The Cubs losing some good games. Game 4 in the NHL, Game 5 in the NBA, and just watching the Brewers beat the Cardinals is never going to get old. Like when you did the full comparison, Drew, of the Brewers, Cardinals, and Cubs with the Packers, Bears, and Packers yesterday.
Yeah, Packers, Bears, Vikings. Yeah.
Vikings, sorry. And I did more of the thoughts of it. I'm like, yeah. And the Vikings do kind of seem like the team that just doesn't enjoy anybody. And I imagine there's a lot of people that don't enjoy Packers fans because of the same reason why some of it I don't like St. Louis Cardinal fans. St. Louis Cardinal fans will let you know they invented baseball.
Exactly.
We're the ones.
We know baseball more than anybody else. And we respect baseball more than anybody else. So just fall in line, bub. And whenever you
5B that they wear, best fans
in baseball.
Yeah.
Also, they make the
nothing
rules.
better than shutting them
They
down.
make the rules. Talk about gatekeeping. I mean, they make the rules on how you should cheer, what you should
Very
do,
true,
how you
yes.
should look at the game, how you should approach the game.
I will say this though, they do cheer opponents if some guy gets a 5th hit or something, like they'll give
They give good nods, right? Like I mean, and
they will tip their caps.
Just like Packers fans, if somebody trots out, like if Tom Brady in his final year, now maybe before he would have beaten the NFC title game, there's a quick little, hey, nice, good for you, bub. Good for you, bub.
Yep.
There's a reverence to the game that both have. Cardinals fans just like to let you know about it a lot more than anybody else.
Right. That's right. That's
although their baseball village is nice.
It is.
I will say
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Village.
Little
And
ballpark village is fun.
They do travel. I wondered about
Luckily,
that because
it's the only
they
thing they
did. I think the Brewers had a number of deals last night because it's a Tuesday night. And it's you're coming off of a holiday weekend, and it's like
Kids aren't fully out of school
not
yet.
out of school yet. A
Last
lot of
chance
stuff.
to get the fan appreciation vouchers used.
So
last
this was
night.
so they
Or
targeted
last
last night as a game like we're gonna have to get creative and make things happen. And they got a nice draw, 33,000 on a Tuesday before school's out. It's not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was
On a Tuesday night. And Cardinals fans
crowd.
do show up because I live kind of downtown and I see a lot of them walking around in their jerseys and T-shirts.
Okay, so that adds up why Armen was in attendance.
Billy, you figured it out finally. You knew how to
Well,
voucher.
you just said it.
Well, I just said the
You
vouchers were
couldn't
voucher
help
from
but
fan
brag that you
appreciation.
got
I
free
had 'em.
tickets for last night.
I'm also the reason we missed the first pitch and we missed all the opening ceremonies. I was like, okay, Lena should see a lot of this, but I had to make sure I had got to my designated driver to get my free Coke.
Oh my
Coca-Cola. One free fountain Coca-Cola for the designated driver program.
then you can
which
fill
was-
it up
So
with
you were
water
late for the
after.
6:40 first pitch. How many innings did you make it?
We went to through the 4th and we had to leave in the 5th. That's pretty much. So I figured that was a pretty good run.
Yeah,
We were able to see the
kids
Bowers
have
homer,
eaten,
most of the runs. The big, we had to sit. We were in the bag line, which takes a little time, but it was overall a great night. And yes, Billy, you know what? The vouchers are there for a reason, and you got to use them. Got to make sure you use those vouchers.
Armen, oh my goodness.
I bought parking.
Yeah.
We didn't walk from Blue Mound.
Yeah,
at least.
you bought parking.
You brought it up though.
Yeah, you bought it up.
Well,
You definitely
All right.
pitched the
So-
idea of walking from Blue Mound. There's no way if you didn't just bring that up that you didn't mention it and Lara say,
Well, what's nice.
who
is-
are you talking
One of you's
to
gonna
here?
have to carry the kids.
What's
so
nice is in a few years we'll be able to do that. I didn't mention that.
Armen will be.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hunter
Hunter
was there.
Baumgardt covered
Yeah.
the game for us. Hunter is our baseball go-to guy. Hunter's reports on our program are brought to us by Import Minded. Hunter, take it away. Let us know what happened
guys.
last.
A 6-0 win for the Milwaukee Brewers over the St. Louis Cardinals last night. They secured the series. By the way, over the last 9 days, the Brewers are 5-0 against the Cubs and Cardinals, and they've outscored them 30-6. A 5-run inning. Jake Bowers, a home run. Garrett Mitchell, a home run. Kyle Harrison, 6 shutout innings. He's thrown 18 consecutive scoreless innings now. By the way, a 1.57 ERA over his first 10 starts as a Brewer. That's the best ERA through first 10 starts in a Brewers uniform in Brewers history. Exceptional. Now, a lot of the questions after the game, though, were about the excessive celebration by Abner Uribe in the 8th inning, which you've probably seen now. This is what Brewers manager Pat Murphy had to say when asked about it.
That's unacceptable. Yeah, it's just unacceptable. I don't know what got over him. I mean, he's been an emotional guy, but that kind of thing, that's just not how we do things, and I was embarrassed by it. And you know, why are we doing it? It's 6-0 game. What are we doing there?
So clearly he wasn't happy with the actions. Now, we talked to Abner Uribe through translator Daniel De Mondesert, and Abner Uribe apologized to everyone associated with the Brewers for his actions. But this was his reasoning for why the excessive celebration after ending the 8th inning.
Unacceptable to go out there and to react in a way like that. But at the same time, I don't think it's professional for their manager to be making signs towards our dugout saying that he's going to be hitting guys. And there was an event that occurred during the practice today too, and I don't think that was right. So, you know, I have my teammates back always.
Oh, sí, esa era la seña que él estaba haciendo. Cada vez que Yelio Contreras iba a batear, la seña de él era que se la pegaran o lo que sea.
Yeah, that was the sign he was doing. Every time Yelly or Williams stepped up to the plate, that's a gesture he was making in the dugout.
So clearly we'll see how that plays today in the series finale. 12:40 first pitch as the Brewers try to go for a sweep. We'll still wait for who that starting pitcher will be. My guess, probably a mix of Chad Patrick in there. Possibly you'd see Shane Drowan. Other pitchers maybe going to make their appearance, but I would say Chad Patrick is probably the most likely to get the most bulk amount of innings coming up today in the series finale. 12:40 first pitch. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Hunter, thank you very much. Well played, well played. And yeah, the Uribe thing was the big story until Josh Jacobs said,
and not so fast, my friend.
I'm in the news cycle as well.
I'm just trying to do the logistics of it and try to see how Abner Uribe was seeing my man Ali Marmol making gestures in the dugout while Yelly was up from the bullpen. Okay. Well, you know what, Abner? I'm with him. I'm with you. Now, 1,000%. You can't do it. You're not supposed to. It's unprofessional. It's not what you're supposed to do. You apologize for it. Thank you very much. I just enjoy having a little bit of piss and vigor against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well,
there's some days of Tony La Russa that I'm smiling and thinking of 2011 when he called all the fans idiots.
Yeah, he did. You know how many bones are in the hand?
You know how many phones are in there? These idiots up here screaming and booing.
Throwing at Yachty. Yeah, I mean, you know, and if Abner saw it or didn't see it or had to kind of make something up in his head to get fired up, sometimes that's how guys get motivated. I mean, you know. I'm not going to say, you know, it wasn't great sportsmanship, but he apologized for it. Murphy yelled at him. Everyone did what they had to do, but he's got a reason for it, whether or not we saw, hey, maybe there is something going on. We didn't know why Giannis checked Mike Dunleavy into the boards until he did it.
I want to know what happened during BP, though.
That's it. Saying. We're all wondering.
So we don't know. I mean, but if it was, you know, the chirping continued. Again, I thought maybe it was a holdover from the World Baseball Classic or something. I don't know.
There's some good stuff. Now, will there be any boil over today, or is it done from last night?
I'm sure there's something left. No.
Nah, probably not.
Oh, okay.
They play each other down the road. It'll be filed away.
This isn't like the 80s
when you
anymore.
expect things to happen, they generally don't. You think like the Cardinals going to buzz the tower on the first batter? I don't.
5 games in 4 days. I think that's when you got a much better chance of those two coming to blows a little bit later in the season on that doubleheader.
I don't think so. Dolph's going to join us for halftime today, and Hunter with Josh Maurer is coming up as well. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I saw the sign.
I'm Doug Russell. As OTAs open up in Green Bay, one of their captains from last season and an on-the-field star is facing serious charges off of it. Running back Josh Jacobs arrested Tuesday in Brown County, facing 5 charges, one of them a felony after a domestic dispute over the weekend. Jacobs, through his attorney, vehemently denies the allegations. The Packers say they are aware of the charges, but have cited the ongoing legal process as the basis for not having comment beyond that. Moving on to baseball, the Brewers are hitting their summer stride.
Bowers, a deep drive to right. Back is Walker, still back, and Bowers wins. 1-0 Brewers on the 8th home run of the year by Bowers.
Jeff Levering on the call on Brewers TV. They clobber the Cardinals in a shutout 6-0. Kyle Harrison spectacular again, 6 innings of shutout work. The Crew go for the sweep this afternoon. First pitch is at 12:40. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Send our guys after you and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on that iHeartRadio app of yours, and streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. For early risers, insomniacs, friend of the program, sociopaths who are already at the health club, getting it in before 6 a.m. We salute all of you.
Proud of you.
You can reach us at 877-794-1973. Hot Take Hump Day it is. We will entertain your hot takes, and there's fertile territory all over the place. Abner Uribe with the triple chop for the Brewers. He was denounced by his manager. What are we doing? We're up 6-0. Why are we doing that?
Murph stands up on the top step of the dugout onto the dirt and just watches him. Yeah. You go watch him walk off the mound, walk right to him, and then right as he gets close enough to get right into earshot. You want to talk about the travel ball parent to a T. Yeah, that was watching little Johnny, or as me watching the little guy roll around in the dirt last night at T-ball the entire time. Just wait till I get over here. That is the last thing we are doing. That is the last thing we're going to be about. However, as you said, you can't be doing stuff, trying to do the things that we've done in the last couple of years and more, doing that stuff. Sure. But it sure is fun. But it does add a little bit of fun. I know it's not right. It feel like AI a little bit. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. But we're talking about the DX suck it. People have been doing the DX for
we're talking
generation. We're talking about
we're
DX.
Talking about
He's just giving an ode to Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and Triple H.
Brett Favre did it as a selling.
Brett Favre did it. I was just going to say, hot take hump day, did he do it better than Brett Favre? The game, it was in 1998 against the Eagles, and it was the Coy Detmer gesture game, I believe. And apparently Coy was giving a gesture to the Packers bench. Brett Favre Packers score. Brett just giving it to their bench and gave him the business on the crotch chop. Dick Stockton loving it. If you're looking for the video, I did clip it and I posted it to my Twitter at Armen Sarian. Just give myself a little pop there. However, look, this is little gamesmanship. Well, yeah, it's not, the audio's not great. It's just Dick Stockton saying he had some fun there, but I can I'll put it on there for a little bit for you guys. Yeah.
So Uribe, it wasn't just a chop, though. It was the full-on hip thrust with the chop.
Yeah, well, so you got to get into it. Come on. If you're going to do the DX, you got to do the DX.
He's always did the dice roll, the bow and arrow, all these things. He always does some of that stuff already,
I love some of the Cardinal Twitter.
Here we go.
They're going beyond just the Uribe, but they're saying, how do the Brewers do this every year? Every single year. 7 guys you've never heard of, a fat first baseman, Christian Yelich, and the best rotation you've ever seen in the history of baseball. I'm so sick of it.
That's amazing.
Well, I think they're joining the Cubs fans in their absolute frustration at the Brewers' inevitability. I'll say that.
At least they try to point to baseball things other than just the devil magic.
Right, they must be cheating. I have a question though. I know Jake Bowers isn't fat. Is Jake Bowers fat?
No.
Reynolds was okay fat.
I think they were just thinking of they were projecting.
They're only thinking Vogelbach on everybody.
I get it. The other
guys, Telez and Vogelbach.
Other guys were Prince. We've had legitimately a lot of fat first basemen.
Yeah, a large first baseman. Chris Carter would fit into that mold. He's a huge son of a gun.
I think Jake Bowers is a strapping young lad, though. I don't think he's fat. He's just got a nice specimen going. He's been huge for the Brewers.
He's got a what?
Ivan.
I'm just saying he's a strapping looking young man. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Right, Ivan Herrera of the Cardinals, his reply, according to my pal Derek Gould, the Post-Dispatch, you have an issue with me, you come talk to me. Don't disrespect our team.
It's like I'm at second base. I thought was Burleson was the one at the plate, correct? Because he's looking at him just like, wait, what did he just do? The funniest thing is Burleson is looking right through him, watching him do the whole thing.
Well,
to Armen's point, though, how good would it have been had that call been overturned and he had to throw another pitch?
I can only imagine the energy. And to Murph's point, look, it's 6-0, but you never know what could happen in this game. A bloop and a blast, and things get tight. So he would have had to. Abner would have done it again. I think that's just how he rolls. I think that's how his mind's made up.
And meanwhile, while we're serving shots of Schadenfreude instead of Malort to our friends from across the border,
they probably deserve Malort.
The Cubs are proving everything that I always say about, first goal of the season to get 10 over and give yourself that cushion. And the Cubs have lost 10 in a row, and they're in last place. They're tied for last place in the Central at 29-26. The only division where everybody's got a winning record. The worst teams are 3 games over 500 in the NL Central. But that's what that is all about.
For sure.
Then you just When you're a good team, your baseline is 500, and you can spring off of that. And if you're 500 on September 1st, you're in the mix.
Yeah,
you got a chance. You can get hot.
Especially with the expanded playoffs allowing for more teams to have a chance down the stretch. And it makes me wonder, Drew, how many of these teams will have a little bit of a pop once you get towards September. Because I do still believe it's a Brewers and Cubs battle throughout the summer. But like the Cardinals, Reds, and Pirates, somebody's going to be chasing for third. Somebody's going to be trying to keep themselves in the mix. And it does feel like they would have a possibility to maybe even get 3 teams in if one of them continues to hold off a little bit better. Man, Pirates offense a lot better than I thought it was going to be, or as a lot better than it's been over the last decade or so. We'll see if it can continue, but they got a few more veterans on that squad than I had anticipated. Ryan O'Hearn, Ozuna playing well. And if you're a run differential guy, then they're the second best team in the division, especially buoyed last night by drumming the Cubbies 12-1.
You want to make yourself feel better? Spinning through Cardinals Twitter, they're not even like, the Uribe thing. They're just mad at the Brewers and their circumstances and the first 2 results.
Fun. Let me hear some more of this.
Here's one from a Cardinals fan on the Twitter. It is. Oh, hang on one second. I just misplaced the tweet. It is. They're all. Oh,
go ahead, Drew. Yeah.
STL Smitty.
There we go.
The Brewers have undoubtedly climbed to number 1 in my hatred rankings over the Cubs.
Nice.
That's the whole thing about the Cubs Cardinals. Like,
that's the whole debate, right?
That's the same thing. Recency bias. The Brewers can turn any human being into a Hall of Famer. Everything goes their way. Every signing, every trade, nothing bad ever happens to the Brewers.
I love it. And that's glorious. Because it's the frustration over the things you're doing well, which I think is good. I just hope Brewers fans appreciate this.
Redbird Riot. I forgot how insufferable the Brewers and their fans are. Literally good for no reason.
This is exactly how I've felt about Cardinals fans for my entire life. Oh,
like,
I feel so seen.
You get to be good no matter what, because you're a Cardinal.
I said that for years.
All these comments drip of that sort of feeling.
You play the Cardinals, and then like, hey, we got a chance today. They're sitting Pujols and Molina and Edmonds, and then the 3 guys in for them combined to go 7 for 10 with 8 RBIs and just shove.
Skip Schumacher,
Paquette and Skip Schumacher and guys like that just bury you. It's like, that sucks.
But it drips up their entitlement.
That's
I mean,
true.
Cardinals fans feel they're the ones that should be winning as a baseline. They're the ones that things go right for them. Cubs fans feel that, we're the ones that should be having good things happen for us, not the Brewers, and that's their frustration. Even I've done that as a Packers fan. I've had that frustration. You just feel like we've been around. We're that team. Let us win. You just gotta love it as a Brewers fan.
Another fan account from the Cardinals. Here's what they want to happen today. Churio gets plunked due to Uribe's celebration. The bench is clear. Ali Marmol gets tossed. Cardinals come back and win late. The season gets turned around, and they sweep the Cubs at home after this.
All right, okay, I can vouch for some of that. Like, I think it'd be interesting to see some of that happen. I definitely would like to see them sweep the Cubs because that would be more fun to see and enjoy. And by the way, they're on Sunday Night Baseball this weekend. Crazy how that happens. But you see a group that and a fan base that it seemed like for the majority of the last 2 years, Drew, desperately wanted Marmol fired.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been calling for Marmol's job damn near since he got it, and here they finally got a little bit of something cooking with some young players, and we'll see if he ends up being the manager that is able to possibly take them across the finish line. Generally, your rebuild manager is not the winning manager. They find somebody else to be able to do the winning and take you over the hump. But they've been a lot more patient than anybody else, and they get a little taste of their own medicine. Because as Coleman Crow, I was a little disappointed to not hear that in Hunter's report. I was hoping Coleman Crow was going to be the guy to get the majority of the ball here today.
Yeah.
Instead, it's going to be mostly, according to Hunter, potentially Chad Patrick. It felt like for the majority of my lifetime, the Cardinals were always bringing up a Coleman Crow.
Always.
Some random ass name that you had no idea how the alliteration gets slid through. And then the guy goes 6 1/3, a 1-hit ball.
Yeah. And that's just the way it is when you have a strong organization. The Cardinals have had it for a long time, and the Brewers are enjoying that consistency now.
Another Cardinals fan account.
Let's go.
Completely unbiased opinion is that I love when players show emotion. I'm cool with bat flips, the screams, and even the thrusts. Just not a fan of doing it at the opposing team's dugout. That's kind of BS, especially when you have a 4.19 ERA in a non-competitive game.
The non-competitive game is the part that I can hear.
That's the one. It wasn't like you got out of a huge jam and it was bases loaded, no outs. You were down one and you had to absolutely blow a guy away and there was big time energy. It was a 6-0 kind of game. Like, was this the time to do it? I mean, it was almost Woodford Reserve time, like territory. Like, you know what I mean? It was almost like,
although a lot, when most of the whole team jumps into the stands for a Lambeau Leap, a lot of times that's in a 4-touchdown game.
I'll give you that.
That's generally in one of those games that's far out of reach. Rarely does that always happen for a Brandon McManus game winner there against the Texans a year and a half ago.
Now, the at the opposing team theory is interesting. That's kind of a baseball thing. Like, don't taunt. Like, you can't taunt. You can celebrate. So when the Giants hip thrust each other, it's fine. The San Francisco Giants are still doing that, even though that was kind of not outlawed, but people were looking sideways at it. But, I could see that the issue being okay. So I do think it's going to be interesting who leads off for the Brewers today. Like, Murph has to be a little careful about who leads off because they are going to be in danger, right?
Yeah, and Uribe did it goes back to Herrera, the catcher, like he buzzed the tower at 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Don't be throwing up there at me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Uribe just needed something to create in his head to get fired up in a 6-0 game.
Are the Cardinals his version of the guy that crossed Michael Jordan that apparently said something?
LaBradford Smith.
LaBradford Smith.
Hey,
thank you so much.
He told me good game at
good
halftime.
Game.
Yeah, that never happened. Hey, listen, if Uribe needs that and he's become this Jordan of closing, I'm fine with that. I get, I'll be honest with you. It's a little bit taunting, but Murph yelled at him and he apologized. So
that's
I feel
what
like
Marmol punted. He said, "Hey, I think Murph handled it.
Murph handled it.
Taken care of it."
And I guess I'm past it now because of that. Like, there are some people that are really upset about it. I guess I didn't expect that much anger. I expected a little bit from Cardinal fans of like, how dare you? But like, I
like Armen posts, and we always try to post and find different ways that you can find the show. And if you haven't been able to view the show, stream the show, YouTube always available, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, or you can hit us up on all of our social media pages. And at Armen Sarian always posts the video with a thought, a question, a little quip. And he said yesterday, just a couple of minutes ago, how do you feel about Abner Uribe's celebration? Hour 2 is live. Our friend Don in Brookfield said it's fine. Now let's talk about PCA trying to hit a fan behind third base with an erratic throw. I like that. I like Brewers fans are just off and into more of dunking on different Cubs fans. Let's find a way to move right past this. That's fine. But remember, PCA just airmailed one over to third base that I sent to Armen as it looked like he was about to just gun the guy in there at third.
He has the yips. Doesn't it seem that way? I mean,
it seems like it might. It seems like he might be cursed by our Sox bride.
He's so, every piece of data talks about and shows us he's a great defensive player, yet he keeps making these plays that are kind of inexplicable. So I don't know if he's got the Chuck Knobloch like yips totally, where he can't make a throw, but it seems like he's just.
I'll tell you this, hot take hump day. I'm all in on the Brewers fan pages saying we should be trying to find some wedding gifts for that young lady and her significant other.
There we go.
I mean, like if indeed she put a Danhausen-esque curse on the Cubs and PCA and gave him the yips, probably need to send an edible arrangement to that celebration. Maybe to the bridal shower. That feels like a better place for that gift to be able to go.
Nice gift. Right.
We don't want to ruin. We don't want to take wedding night. We'll just drop them off at the shower.
Let them know here's a nice toaster for you. Dobler says, good morning. Anytime you can poke the Cardinals, the ire of the Cardinals, you do it, no regrets. Dobler chiming on the YouTube, as Billy mentioned. You can always get in there. Also, smash that subscribe button. Good to hear from Dobler after a Garrett Mitchell homer. Usually we don't. So, but I see he definitely avoided that. But yes, we're always happy to poke the bear a little bit when it's the Cardinals. Now you do have one more to go today. So
that's right.
Hope to
one more into the off day. Got to get greedy now and go for the sweep
now
and just put them in their place.
I just think Abner Uribe should change his walk-up music to the DX entrance song.
Oh,
I mean, like
maybe he's just a big wrestling fan.
Generation X. And then he walks right out there, hits the Triple H water spit right as he gets to the mound. I mean, there's some stuff we could be doing to making Abner Uribe some money here.
Good thing I got you to interpret those.
We can help him out, dude. We can help him out, dude. Oh, God.
All right. Hot takes 877-794.
A lot of trouble in grade school doing the DX.
97.3. Did you?
Oh, God, true. Yeah. Everybody was doing the DX in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, it was a big one. You score a touchdown in recess football, you were doing one of two things: spiking the ball right through the ground or hitting the DX. That was just going to have to be the case.
Fantastic.
It was so popular, good. But maybe Uribe is just a big wrestling fan. Well, no one came up with that possibility. Maybe that was just what he was doing.
Could be.
Maybe he is like Giannis, right?
Like a lot of them. Yeah, no doubt about it. Like a lot of athletes.
Yep. Continue. Hit us up 877-794-1973. Well, if you're just joining us, it's not that we're ignoring the Josh Jacobs story. We did talk about it at length earlier today, and we will continue. And again, position of this program is that it's as crass as it may be. The Packers have to have discussions about what might happen and, what would life look like without Josh Jacobs. You have to have those discussions. Like, he is afforded and he is entitled to due process and the presumption of innocence, like everyone in our legal system. However, this does come, it is a little bit different in that this Packers are seen as a public trust, right? And his employment will be or perhaps his non-employment, will it be a topic for people?
Yeah, it might be. But then when you look at the free agent running back list and the number one name is Joe Mixon, I mean, might robbing Peter to pay Paul. It might not be the right spot. Might not be the right exchange.
It might not be the right guy to bring in.
You start looking at the exchange rate here. Hey, Dare is available as well. We could grab him in here. Now he's 32 years old. That might not be exactly the backup running back you're hoping for.
Marshawn Lloyd's going to get some totes today and
chances
in OTAs, and
make sure that hammy's ready.
11:05. Matt LaFleur is going to meet with the local media, and that's going to be question one. And again, I'll waive the consulting fee, but PR 101 is like, all right, before we get started, we are aware of the situation with Josh Jacobs. It's a legal matter. We're investigating. The league is investigating.
I can't say anything
local
else
authorities
about it.
are investigating,
We're not going to.
and we don't have all the information. Therefore, I can't comment on it, and I will not be able to tell you anything about Josh Jacobs.
And I appreciate all the questions that are still about to come in here, but just so you know, I'll answer it with, I put back to my first segment or to my first statement.
To my first statement. I can't comment about it. We don't know enough yet. We want Josh to be on our football team, but at this point, we don't know his status. Period. A little bit like an injury thing. We just don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Like, he's able to say,
when we know.
He's able to say, I haven't talked to the trainers when, like, a guy blew out his ACL from the on-field test, but I haven't talked to the trainers yet. So give him that. And you can't get mad at that because there's nothing they can say. People got mad at the statements from the Packers and the NFL. It's like, we're aware of it and we're in contact. Like, that's all they can say. Like, there's nothing else you can do right now.
And you just hope that there's something good that can come out of it. And more than anything, you just hope that the whole legal process plays out correctly, because we've seen with cases like this where there's too many cooks in the kitchen or thoughts already made before the final judgment comes through.
Absolutely. All right. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Get us your hot takes on just about anything. Brewers, the Cubs skid. If the Cubs lose 2 more games, do we get free burgers from George Webb for a Cubs losing streak, or from a Billy Goat, perhaps?
I was going to say, maybe they go with the Cubs version. They just get a couple of eggs or something. Everybody gets a free 2 pair of wheat cakes.
Hey, come on, Wiener Circle. Where are you now? Let's get those free wieners out there. Those free hot dogs.
If Murph would have taken his shirt off, maybe we would have.
Well, maybe.
I don't think the Cubs haven't won since the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern passed on May 15th. So maybe that's it.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Well, there is a curse then. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild, actually. Is that wow?
Sam died
how'd your voice go up 4 octaves?
I just can't. That's amazing that's actually real. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, this is true.
Believe it, just like the Sox pride.
When we come back, Scott Dolphin is going to join the party. He's back from his vacation. We'll talk to Dolph from the country station down the hall. That is next, and Hunter Baumgardt's interview with Josh Maurer about the Ueck documentary is coming up at 7:30. That's Destination Radio, folks. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on that iHeart app. Happy to be joined by our pal, Scott Dolphin from the Country Station on the Hall. Back, refreshed, rested and refreshed from an extended holiday weekend.
Yeah.
How's it going, Dolph?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was amazing. I said, the more sleep I get, the more I love sleeping. I just don't. you forget how much you miss sleep, and you just don't get a lot of it during the week. Like if you get up early.
It is kind of nice.
Yeah, if you're on this show, if you're listening to this show, you don't get a lot of sleep probably. You're up early, right? So, yeah, I really enjoyed my sleep. And then on top of that, some hiking and some golf over the weekend as well.
Not shabby. Not a bad, that is a veteran move that we might be copying next year. Take the Friday and the Tuesday off around Memorial Day and turn that into a litlittle mini vacay.
Dude, it's your turn, Drew. I'll take the show next year. You got it.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so plenty to talk about. And Dolph, we're not tiptoeing around it, but we're trying to have a nuanced discussion about Josh Jacobs and the charges. And the Packers done a pretty good job in recent vintage of staying off the police blotter. And here we are with one of their captains, one of their marquee guys in it. And your first instinct is, you got to remember that he gets due process like everybody else and it has to play out. And we got to give it some time. But there are some folks who will say he should be released. No questions asked. Others that say got to give him the benefit of the doubt. In any event, they have to start thinking about other options, right? It's that's not crass for us to talk about.
Well, absolutely. When you start thinking of situations when it comes to domestic violence, you think of guys like Ray Rice. And of course, there was major video going on with him.
Yeah.
But, to me, the first thing that came to mind was obviously something happened there. And it just goes to show you, I don't care how much money you have or how you're riding on top of the world. Money can't buy happiness if you got problems in your life. And that's a prime example of it right there. Boy. But God, you read the accusations and you're like, wow, this is heavy, serious stuff here. And like you said, Drew, he's got to have due process here. This doesn't mean it
presumed
actually
innocent.
That's just it. I remember there was a guy in country music several years ago that was accused of strangulation, trying to smother his ex-wife with a pillow. Turns out a lot of it didn't happen at all, and he walked. His name's Rodney Atkins. He's still around to this day. He's still performing and touring. And she came out and said, her emotions got the better of her. And so, you don't know what happened here until we start getting a lot more of this story.
Yeah, and we don't. But you have to, like Billy, we were saying, when it comes to the final roster cuts, we try to get ourselves and put ourselves into their offices and try to make the decisions. We're trying to put ourselves into that. What are they talking about? What's the free agent list look like of running backs? Do we need insurance?
How can Austin Eckler or Najee Harris help us?
If he's not gone, will he be suspended for the disciplinary, the league? You have to worry about this stuff, and
that could be lengthy, right?
Yeah,
well,
we don't know.
That's again where if you're upset about the Packers statement of it, they really don't have much. There's nothing else they can say, as well as the legal process and the NFL will have their process. And then they find out, like all of us do, at the exact same time.
And at this point, first of all, we don't know if Josh Jacobs has been released yet. If he's still in.
No, I would assume later today on his arraignment. I think they said his arraignment was 2:00 today.
Arraignment today and then released. But then, so the Packers probably haven't talked to him.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They can't know what's happened. So I know there was anger about this man. Why even put out a statement if you can't say, well, that's all there is.
Because if you didn't,
you have to. If you didn't, people would be pissed about that.
Say something, right?
Yes,
you had to do it. It is what it is.
That is what it is.
It's never going to be good. There's nothing good that someone could say or do.
No,
that's going to be in this situation.
We were saying before, Dolph, that sports reflects society, and domestic violence isn't just a sports problem or a football problem. It's a societal problem, and sports reflect society. Sports are part of society, so can't really separate the two.
Yeah, as far as the Packers go, when and maybe the accusations are going to be downright ugly when this police department releases them. But the good news, I guess, if you're Green Bay, bad news, good news. Bad news is he's one of the top 2 running backs in the league, in my opinion. The good news is it is the running back position where you can get production from a lot of dudes.
It's fair.
I don't know about Josh Jacobs' production, but you can get production from a lot of dudes. It's not like, you're losing your QB.
No, and from a football perspective as well, last year was one of his down years, right? Doesn't crack 1,000 yards. He was often somewhat dinged up, hampered, I think is probably the better way of putting it. He didn't miss a ton of time, missed a couple of games, but it was more of lingering problems with his health throughout the year. And it's one of those where you balance it. You were thinking bounce back year. Maybe not. Maybe you can very easily replace 900 rushing yards. You would think that you'd be able to.
Yeah.
But the ground game was one of their biggest problems last year. Their inability to manufacture anything productive in the run game was one of the biggest reasons why their offense struggled to find a lot of consistency throughout the year.
There's a lot of in sports, we get these controversies. Sometimes I call them non-traversies, where we get worked up about stuff that's not a big deal. But you got the Josh Jacobs thing. You got the Abner Uribe triple crotch chop to the Cardinals dugout, which was unseemly and has been addressed, and we'll see what the ramifications are there. Like, you think, would the league step in and say, "Oh, Uribe, you can't do that. That's a game suspension or something"? Like,
I think he'd get fined if
I don't
anything,
think so.
right?
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't think so, unless something percolates today.
Yeah.
Then
he's lucky he's not hitting in this series.
Then, meanwhile, back here among the tire and strip club ads, we had an NBA conference final game where Wemby, one of the stars of the league, face of the league, he dipped out on reporters last night and didn't talk about his 4 for 15 shooting performance and the fact that he was bottled up in a key game and that they're facing elimination.
And Hartenstein
we've seen guys do this. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Caruso. Like, we've seen guys do this before. I remember Brett Favre threw the 6 picks in the playoff game against the Rams and then dipped and didn't talk to the media, and he got crushed for it.
I'm interested to see also how the national media will handle that a little bit, because, there's a lot of shows that will be talking about that game today. And a lot of people, Billy, as we know, love Wemby in the national media. So you have to kind of explain around this one.
I mean, freaking Florio yesterday posts a picture before the game, or like a GIF of Wemby, 20 minutes until Wemby starts. Oh, cool. Wow. All right, sweet. I'm still waiting for him to start. He ends up with the second worst field goal percentage in a playoff game by a player taller than 7'2". And he was, I think, the even more non-existent part than his 4 for 15. He had 6 rebounds and only 3 blocks. I mean, this is a dude that had over 17 boards in games in this series. Yeah. So he was somewhat MIA yesterday.
And he's fun to watch. There's no question about it. But a lot of times in the road, it gets tough in the playoffs. You are going to hit adversity, even for great players. Role players play better at home. That's the way it goes. And Wemby hit that. So you have to find a way to get over it. But
this is what the national media wants. So they want the Knicks. They want Knicks against Wemby. And the Knicks against Oklahoma City might be a great series. I think OKC would probably win that series, but they want Wemby. They want Wemby against the Knicks. I was off yesterday. I had to turn off ESPN. Oh my God.
The slob
Nick
fest
vomit that just kept coming out of my
They're
TV.
so excited. Oh my goodness. They're so excited.
Wow. I didn't realize it had been 20 some years since they
27 years. You'll hear it for the next week and a half as they're all off and watching Jalen Brunson sit on his couch with his dog on that picture and post it throughout. But you're right. They want Wemby against the Knicks. They're so happy that the Knicks are in, but also the Spurs a better chance for them to win the series, right? Like, I think last night also clap back to a lot of people's minds of, oh wait, Oklahoma City is that team. They kind of actually might be that giant when they get McCain, who's over here doing TikTok videos all throughout his time at Duke, dropping down 3 triples and scoring 20, and Caruso coming off the bench scoring 20.
Their depth. I mean, SGA wasn't even all that great last night. Their depth was incredible.
It's incredibly hard to win back-to-back in the NBA. We saw that as Bucks fans in 2022, man. And for them to make it look, to this point anyway, to make it look relatively easy, you got to tip your cap.
Also, deeper into the section, back by the Tire and Strip Club ads, Billy's Las Vegas Golden Knights won. And
what a story
the Colorado Avalanche are just dazed and confused and wandering into that offseason going, what the hell happened? We won the President's Trophy. We're the best team, and this is the most shocking sweep in the last 10 years in the NHL.
They were a wagon until they ran into the Vegas Knights.
Well, it's dumbfounding. They were the best team in hockey, right? So in everybody's eyes. Now, I know they had some injuries, but still, this is dumbfounding.
Colorado is feeling like the Brewers did. Hey, we won 97 games, most of the league, and we got steamrolled by the Dodgers.
Stoner coming back in. So then what
happened? So that they're going through it.
Yeah, I mean, now they're 2 top guys going down, and Maurer missing the first 2 games might be one of the best players in the league. Missing the first 2 games, that was a huge one. And McKinnon blocked a shot in game 3 off of his knee, and it's just not been the same player. Was not the same player for the next 5 periods or so. Last night, I mean, they were just defensing him for a majority of the first 2 periods. And then later on into the game, he's like, hey, by the way, I'm just going to stay out here as long as I can. I can't really move very well, but I'm going to stay out here and try to provide some kind of offense. And they just were unable to, man. John Tortorella has been unbelievable. They didn't lose with him as the coach during the regular season. They've steamrolled through the playoffs. And it's good when you get your captain, Mark Stone, back in here. Stoner putting pucks into the net. That's what you need.
If you ever think really quick, if you ever think that your team needs a jolt and isn't getting it done, This is like the poster child example of everyone's ever going to have for make a late move with the coach and hopefully to jolt your team. I mean, the Brewers had that Ned Yosedale Swaim thing. It worked to get them to the playoffs. And, man, this one has been quite the example of just what the infusion of energy, the new coach balance, whatever you want to say. He's been doing it, and now they're at their third Cup final in 9 years.
It's amazing.
And they love it in Vegas, man. The locals, that's their team. They're native to that team. And they feel that kinship there more than you'll ever see other pro sports team there. Feel that connection.
The Avs and the Nuggets in that market could have people fearing that they're one and done because the Avs aren't that far removed from winning. And the core is getting older, and the clock is ticking, and this was a chance like they squandered.
And you had the Broncos lose on that dagger of a play in the AFC
with
playoffs
their quarterback
to New
getting
England.
hurt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tough time to be a Denver sports fan. Of course, on the other side of the Stanley Cup playoffs, are we going to see the first Canadian team hoist a cup in over 30 years?
That'd be amazing.
Well, it would be very Canada of them this year to make it to the Cup final and then finish in second place. I think that's what we ultimately want, is we want them to finish in second. And the Avalanche, not only have they done it, now granted, they were one of the highest scoring teams in NHL history, and they went 8-1 in the first 9 games of the playoffs, but they're now like the 13th straight President's Cup trophy team. That's the team that ends the season with the best record in the NHL regular season to not make the final and not win the final. So it's fascinating to see that especially in hockey. Hockey's probably the one where you could make a move late because the head coach defers a lot of it, right? He doesn't necessarily do a ton. We talk about it a lot with LaFleur. Right. All of a sudden now you're firing the offensive coordinator and the head coach, right?
Well,
the people that want to make those moves in football, there's so much different planning to it. In hockey, a lot of it is some motivation, standing by the bench and knowing when to call the 2 timeouts you get.
Yeah, and playoff beards. That's also a huge part of it.
That's a really, really good part of it. That's a really good point, Dolph. They got some good ones.
The last time you saw a clean-shaven team.
Yeah.
Not this late.
In the Stanley Cup.
This late.
Can't do it this late. Now, Cole Caulfield makes it. He's a little clean-shaven, not because of choice, but because I don't know my man has actually hit that time yet. He is as barren as you possibly could have there for the Canadians.
Now, for the Canadians, you mentioned it, though. I mean, they kind of missed a little opportunity. They dominated game 1. They lost 2 in overtime to Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
They got dog walked in game 3. I don't know how that game made it to overtime.
Yeah, they were dominated. There's no question about it, but it was overtime. So the thing is, they had a couple of opportunities to take a 2-1 lead or even 3-0, and they lost that chance. So now they're trying to even it up tonight at home in Quebec, in Montreal.
And that's not the team you want to let off the mat.
No.
Carolina.
No, but you know, that Bell Center crowd, they go crazy at Montreal. I mean, their home crowd is incredible. So let's see what kind of energy they have tonight for game 4.
That's why it's dumbfounding. And I know there's a lot of Canadians and Russians on every roster, but it's just dumbfounding how the birthplace of hockey, the cradle of hockey, Canada, has not had a Stanley Cup champion since, was it the Canadians?
93.
With Patrick Waugh?
Patrick Waugh.
You better believe it. Yep.
Yeah,
it's been that long and hasn't happened in my lifetime, which is wild to think. And
it's nuts.
You also have for the sport of hockey, you got a night where it can be just untouched because the Knicks steamrolled through the playoffs. The NHL's got to be happy about this because now they have one series that's going to be undeterred, and then you have the NBA on the other side. So you're going to get one game a night, and we get full appointment viewing through the rest of the week. Right. Media starts with me, and I'm glad.
And then
about
it's time for Summerfest, right, Drew?
Yeah, exactly.
Quickly so.
Then we're on to that and the NBA draft.
And we're already inside the halfway point of getting closer and closer to football. So don't worry, everybody.
Right.
We've reached the halfway point of the offseason. We're into the home
under
stretch.
100 days.
Billy just mentioned Phil Steele's college football annual comes out when? Is it like
9 days away, Dolph? 9 days away.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Kid in a candy.
6 more days until the VIP one comes through. I don't know who's got
I love that because that's that's like a Billy level nerd thing, you know, that some people like will say,
I want to know what's happening in the MAC this year.
Right. I love that.
A lot of new rosters you got to start learning in college football.
Yeah. So you're not talking about the actual hard copy magazine that I used to have. You know, remember those guys who would come to your fantasy thing and they'd still have that magazine, all the paperwork.
Me.
No. You did, and you'd say, dude, just bring your laptop. You can get updates like up to the minute.
I used to subscribe to stuff.
Absolutely. And then lastly, on the way out here, the United States men's national team announced for the World Cup. And there's a Packers connection because Antonio Freeman's son, Alex, is on the
team.
Youngest member of the squad. He's playing in Spain right now, and he's tearing it up.
I know it's still down the pecking order in this. I'm fired up for the World Cup. I am.
It's a spectacle,
it'll be
man.
fun to watch.
I was happy to see ticket prices have come down from where they were. And they're still ridiculous for the final, which is out in Jersey. But for the most part, they're coming down and down and down. I think the cheapest one you can get now is $180 for, I don't know if it was Paraguay against some European country you've never heard of.
I didn't see the pairing but listen, it would be electric to go.
It would be.
They care about it. They care about this across the world, man.
Kansas City's the closest to us.
That's the closest one.
Yeah.
That's the closest
take
one.
that, Chicago.
How about that?
They're getting the friendly beforehand, the preview game.
Yeah, that totally matters.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Everyone's totally excited.
It's like my brother-in-law said, "You want to go to this?" I'm like, "I'm not going to the exhibition game. What are you, crazy?" And he's like, "No,
Armen doesn't do preseason
He's
football.
like, "No, this is a big game where you do this." I'm like, "No." I mean, I would, but no. Like, I want to go to a real World Cup game.
You said, are you paying?
Well, I mean, that's another factor. How much is it going to cost? And you got to park Soldier Field, so you got to park there, and the Shed Aquarium's packed one day, so you got to find parking.
Take the train, man.
He's on
you got to wear a shirt on the train, though, Armen.
Armen's on. He's on a rant.
Tarps off.
He's on a heater. Tarps off.
Can we do that for?
There you go. All right, so Duff, where are you going to be this afternoon on the golf course or at the ballpark? 12:40 first pitch at American Family Field. Sun, suds, hot dog.
Neither one. I have to be here later in the morning. Taping an interview with Tim McGraw today, by the way.
All right.
Not to drop names, but I just dropped a name.
Hey,
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then so got a couple of work things I have to.
Not shabby. All right. Well,
good day to come back.
Thanks for popping in.
On vacation alert. Oh, sorry, we got to talk to Tim McGraw today. Oh, I guess.
Oh, by the way,
guess I'll show up.
Hello to Tim McGraw from the guys from the Huddle.
All
right, we will be right back. About an hour away, we're going to hear Hunter's interview with Josh Maurer about the Ueck documentary, which I can't wait to see. That interview is coming up. Can't wait to hear it at 7:30. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Hot Take Hump Day in the Good Land. 877-794-1973. Get you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Share your thoughts with us. I'll share my thoughts with you after the show today. I'll be heading to Game Day Men's Health in Brookfield, visiting my friends. Check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. It couldn't be easier. Find the clinic near you, one in Middleton, several in the Milwaukee area. Sign up for a free no-obligation consult and take it from there. See how they can help you. Peptides are all the rage. We've been talking about that. That Wolverine stack is getting guys in shape. You still got time to get in shape for the summer. Well, you got about a month per se.
You got it.
You can
Clock
make it
is
happen.
ticking. Yeah.
You can make it happen, but it's always good to get in shape. Why not? So check out our friends at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not. Brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. And Billy, what do you got for Who's Hot, Who's Not?
Well, who would not be hot would be Victor Wembanyama last night. We mentioned it a little bit with Dolph there. His stat line, not Wemby-esque, 20 points, just 4 of 15 from the floor. Did go to the foul line 12 times, knocked down all of those shots, but only 6 boards for the French phenomenon who had been taken over the world by storm. Instead, it was a little bit more of the SGA legacy game that people were wondering. 32 points, 9 assists, 1 shy of a double-double, and went 16 of 17 from the charity stripe. Whenever they needed a bucket, they went to him.
Yeah, he was able to get to the line because they were bodying him up and making life difficult for him,
100%.
which they've done a good job of. But then he's a great player, and he got to the line, and he'll beat you one way or the other.
Yeah, and Drew, the getting to the line thing is not kind of falling on deaf ears to me. What great player doesn't go to the line? What,
everybody.
Right, like what great player
Giannis.
doesn't go to the foul line
Absolutely.
13 to 14, 15 times a game?
Because you
Like,
had the ball a lot. They're defended hard and closely.
you take the ball to the
and
cup.
they're
Like
taking
that's
to
the
cup.
part of it.
Jordan,
So
LeBron, all of them did.
the best players always do and always did. So, but Shea just looks a little different doing it. And instead, last night they were able to do it. Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, both big men for the Thunder, finished with double doubles. Isaiah Hartenstein was phenomenal, especially defensively against Wemby. But I'd go in the hot category for Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee. Yes, Mason Plumlee and Bismack Biyombo, to coin our friend Steve Haywood. They're still getting a check. Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee, both 2 minutes played yesterday. Combined for 3 of the hardest fouls you'll see all playoffs long. Right after the video shows Wemby going and giving a quick whisper to them as he checked out for the final minute and a half. And they picked up 3 of the hardest fouls you're going to see all playoffs. Biyombo put Jared McCain down, and McCain was on a post-game interview, asked about it, and said, "Man, why'd you hit me like that?" He goes, "I got another one for you too."
Jeez.
Whoa.
I got another one for you too. So Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee came in on it. They were hot yesterday, ready to mess around and play.
Understood the assignment, understood their job, I guess.
Wait, this is why I'm in the game?
Yeah, this is what they're.
This is why I'm in the game? Gotcha, coach.
You're my guy. You're my goon. And then we mentioned earlier when we didn't talk to the media, so
very much
they're
not
gonna
hot
be,
there.
He's got to figure out, because they're going to be physical with you. Like, that's the way it is. I understand it can be frustrating. I understand it might get to you, but you have to think about these things now, and you have to react accordingly. And if you're going to duck media when you have a bad game, not a good look. Although you probably will get a great look from national media who love Wemby right now. The biggest article I could find on him on ESPN.com was that one of his cards sold for $5.1 million.
$5.1 million.
How about that for a rookie card?
That? I mean, wow.
The most for a non-autographed card I think I saw of all time. Nuts. The other hot category now, Kyle Harrison, obviously 6 innings, shutout ball. He's been hot for a while. Have we been taking full account as to just how hot William Contreras has gotten? Over the last week, his batting average, a robust .526 and an OPS, let me know if you guys think this is good, of 1308.
Wow. That's crazy.
That seems to be pretty solid for Wild Bill as he's continuing to heat up. And he's got his batting average already up to 308, which you wouldn't think a long time ago that wouldn't have been the case. That's 6th in all of baseball for William Contreras on the average count. I know a lot of people don't look at batting average anymore. I know it's not exactly the most in vogue stat, but he's definitely the best player in this top 10 of batting average. And the Riley Green, a pretty good one. Drake Baldwin just on the outside, but 308 Wild Bill already up to. Pretty impressive.
You get him going. You get Yelich staying lathered up. Hopefully Garrett Mitchell gets going. Andrew Vaughn, Bryce does his thing. Now you got something cooking.
Yeah, Armen, all it takes is for every guy to get hot.
That's right.
Yeah. That's like when I asked,
simple.
So I asked Timmy last year.
Tim Humphrey's Guide to Baseball.
If the 7 through 9 hitters start hitting, they're going to be pretty hard to beat, huh?
Yeah, well,
Might be. Then you can go 30-4 in a run.
Well, baby, we got more coming up. Hunter's interview with Josh Maurer about the Uecker doc. I'm looking forward to it. That's at 7:30. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. Terrible news from Green Bay. Packers running back Josh Jacobs arrested Tuesday. He faces 5 charges stemming from a domestic incident over the weekend. Jacobs, through his attorney, vehemently denies the allegations. The Packers say they are aware of the charges, but have no comment beyond that. Better news, the beat goes on for the Brewers.
And Mitchell a drive to center. It's back. It is gone. 3-run bomb for Garrett Mitchell.
Jeff Levering on the call on Brewers TV. The Crew clobber the Cardinals 6-0. Kyle Harrison spectacular again. He pitches 6 shutout innings, scattering 4 hits, striking out 2. Meanwhile, the beat goes on in the other direction for the Cubs. They've now lost 10 straight. The Pirates clobbering Chicago 12-1 at PNC Park. And from the NBA, the Thunder beat the Spurs 127-114. Oklahoma City up 3-2 in that series. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Wednesday in the good land. Drew, Billy, Armen bringing it to you from headquarters. Hot Take Hump Day. 877-794-1973. With all the news, do we have hot takes? Is there a hot take on Abner Uribe? Shouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the hot take. Shouldn't have done it. However, awesome. Like, you rip a DX, I'm gonna enjoy it. Now, there's a time and a place. Is the 8th inning on the mound in a 6-0 game the place? No. But still a hilarious one to be able to have. And if it was to any other team other than the Cubs and Cardinals, I guess I'd maybe have a little bit of a problem with it, but I love it. I love seeing DX reaching the next generation.
I think the hot take I would have is that I think people wouldn't be reacting so negatively, at least Brewer fans would. Some are reacting negatively like, this wasn't classy, this is kind of clown stuff. If he was having a better year, I think he's kind of been having a mid-year, if that's fair to say, like not his usual lights-out stuff. If he was lights out, going to be an all-star, just blowing away the league again, like I think Brewers fans would be fine with it. I think people view the prism of those type of things based on your performance on the field, and they'll adjust their opinion as such. So if there is some sort of quote-unquote hot take on it, I think that would be my hot take. I was a little surprised to see so many people kind of saying, it's just so wrong and so bad and so right. Okay, it's a little bit unsportsmanlike. Pat had the conversation with him. We're up 6-0. It'll be interesting to see if the Cardinals do retaliate in any sort of way. It seems like those type of things don't exist as much as they used to. Drew, I
don't think they'll. You're not going to see anything. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. Depends on how the game goes. Cardinals just want to win a game and get out of town.
Well, that's the other thing. Like if it was a 1-1 series draw, maybe it'd be a different deal. But you're right, Drew. They want to get home. They've had a game rained out. They've lost 3 straight. They've had 2 games rained out.
Yeah, 2 games rained out in Cincy.
Cincy, and they're ready to get home. They're on a travel day, and I think they have a big old off day circled tomorrow before the Cubs come to town. So yeah, I think the Cardinals are well equipped to stock that one away. And probably wait till the 5 games in 4 days that they play later on into the summer, right in the heat of July. That might be where you see something actually happen, because that's when you can get a little bit more, a little bit more lathered up and a little bit more piss in the fingers.
Yeah. Drew, Derek in Whitewater Should I be looking for Abner at the Rock County Fair when the New Age Outlaws come this summer?
I hope so, dude.
I
hope so. That'd be amazing. I think he should come to. He should rip that out at the Blizzard Brawl. I mean, Great Lakes Championship. Great Lakes Championship Wrestling. Are you kidding me? Dave Hero, he saw that last night.
Sure.
He's like,
hey, this guy could be
special
involved.
guest referee Abner Uribe. There's a lot of good opportunities that we could get there. There's some money making opportunities for Abner there.
How many people do you think just are not aware of the wrestling reference in general?
The majority.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the
most people
majority of people are.
say, "Oh, you're just making a sexual gesture or something like that, maybe." Or
Just like the Rogers
crotch.
one when he did the hip thrust and drew the 15-yard penalty. I don't think a lot of people thought it was a Key and Peele
Right.
Comedy Central skit.
Exactly, right. And you know, the San Francisco Giants outfielders have been doing some stuff like that. I don't know if that's a reference as well, but I think sometimes people don't understand that there is a reference to it in some of these things, wrestling or what have you, and they just assume things otherwise. But once they maybe realize, oh, that's a reference to this, maybe they still wouldn't like it, but they'd understand why it's coming more, you know? So.
Yeah. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talk text line. Get us your hot takes. We have talked about the Josh Jacobs situation. Matt LaFleur meets the media at 11:05 today, just before the Packers OTA practice. That's open to the reporters.
All right, hot take. Matt LaFleur's media availability just became the most desired listened to content from an NFL head coach today, above Mike Vrabel talking at Patriot OTAs.
There you go.
Do we think so? Do we think that's going to get more coverage?
That's not a hot take. That's a true take.
I mean, four-letter network has not covered the Vrabel thing at all, so maybe they'll cover that one here today. Who knows? As we haven't had a post drop in a while, have we? Since the schedule release drop, we haven't seen anything from the New York Post. So maybe Mike Vrabel will actually get to talk about football today instead of everything else.
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to say probably not. The other one on a hot take, guys, I don't know if you saw this. We saw it yesterday as we were leaving the station and departing. Did you guys see the sick, twisted video and the get ready with me of Bryce Harper putting the toothpaste in his mouth?
No, when you said video, I was thinking Will Levis. Sorry, yes. The
I haven't
Bryce
seen
Harper.
the Will Levis video yet.
Yeah, go ahead, Billy. No, explain this.
Scrubbed off the internet.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know where we're going. You talked about it, though. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. So, yes, explain the Bryce Harper deal.
So, the Bryce Harper video is my man taking the toothpaste, squirting it into his mouth, pause. And then applying with the toothbrush, brushing it through. So, I thought before I hate it, you can't knock it until you've tried it.
So you tried it. In the interest of science?
Did you try it, Billy?
I'd take it. He might be onto something.
No.
He actually might be onto
That's a
something.
clown question, bro.
It was very, very strange. It felt very odd. I felt like I was putting my pants on backwards.
Pause. Oh, that is an odd feeling when you do it.
But I'll tell you this, I woke up this morning and my breath was minty fresh.
Okay.
And that floor, I stayed on there all night long. It wasn't watered down. Bryce Harper might be onto something. With this thing.
So Bryce Harper does the toothpaste first before he doesn't
squirts
apply
it in his mouth, not onto the brush.
But am I the only one wondering? Because I always put water on the toothpaste. Am I the only one that does this?
Well,
I thought everyone did.
But I'll tell you
What
this.
if you wet the brush first and then put the toothpaste on?
Oh, so you're saying you wet so some people, okay, like it's like putting dry shampoo on your hair, on dry hair. Or do you wet your hair first, then put the shampoo on?
You're supposed to wet your hair.
Well,
Yeah, you wet the hair there.
it just seems weird to have that dry toothpaste in my mouth. I'll
But
try
hair
it.
and teeth are a bit different. One's naturally a little bit moister.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yes, that's true. I mean, maybe it is. And you're saying it.
All right.
The breath is better afterwards. Like
So-
the minty
I don't know.
freshness?
I'll tell you.
First of
I thought it
all-
was going to be really uncomfortable and slimy and awkward, and it ended up being a much better and more pleasant experience than I anticipated.
How many guys do get ready with me videos?
That's the other hot take
Great
here.
question,
I mean,
Drew.
a get ready video. Although
Not
maybe
many.
it's common more these days with like internet and
It's-
young guys.
I
and
mean,
trying to have a social presence.
I guess we got to be on the talk, Drew. Are we not on the talk?
I'm
enough?
on the talk, but I don't put anything out there, but I lurk. And it's
Yes.
like, who does it get ready with me videos for dudes? Now,
Get ready with me as I do a 5 a.m. radio show.
is that weirder?
I do
That is what Bryce Harper did weirder than the rumor was that in the Yankees clubhouse, Alex Rodriguez, one of the clubbies, would hand him his toothbrush and had already loaded the toothpaste on it. Like he had a toothpaste guy, a guy to load his toothbrush with
That's
toothpaste
wild.
and hand it to
That's
him.
wild.
So he
No.
didn't have to go through the step of
No.
putting the toothpaste on the toothbrush.
If you can't put your own damn toothpaste on, I have
So-
no respect for you.
That was like the level of service that A-Rod got allegedly in the Yankees clubhouse where someone handed him a toothbrush. Now,
what's the next step? Someone's going to brush your damn teeth?
That's so A-Rod.
What if someone brush your teeth for
on
you?
those rare occasions when you get to go to a country club or something, like in the men's locker room, they'll have like a little container sometimes of the toothbrushes that are preloaded. They're single use.
Yeah,
and they already have the toothpaste
but that's nasty too.
on the brush.
Because it's just like
So
toothpaste.
you just wet it and wet it and forget it and just go to town.
I've
and
never
then
seen that before.
disposable toothbrushes. Yeah, they used to have those at country clubs and stuff where the few times that I've
I was going to say,
been
when we-
invited to
when we get
Bushwood as a
invited.
guest. Yes. Or else I, was at
come
a
on,
wedding
Joe.
and went to the bathroom and saw how the other half lives.
Oh yeah,
That's
no.
pretty
You
sweet.
mean those little baskets in the weddings that everyone has? We had to do that.
This one's even
No,
better.
no,
This
I
one's
mean-
way better.
I
Yeah.
I
stole
mean,
all
like,
that
no,
stuff.
the country club locker.
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
got the
yeah.
Clubman cologne and you got the
Yeah,
It's all
big
there.
old spray of right
toothpicks.
guard.
You got the disposable,
I've never been there.
shavers, the razors.
How about those
The
individual
little floss
flossers?
picks,
Yeah, the
little
flossers.
flossers. Yes, but yeah, they also had like toothbrushes that were individually wrapped, and you could just take it and go to town, brush teeth, and throw it away.
All right, go ahead, Billy.
No,
Go ahead, take it.
I'm still stuck on the A-Rod thing. I would be so much more surprised if it was anybody other than Alex Rodriguez. I think if any other human being other than A-Rod did it, I'd be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Boss Albert on
A-Rod,
YouTube.
that place.
Yeah, right. Did A-Rod have a TP guy also as Boss Albert?
You wonder.
Just right up underneath the saw.
Well,
There you go,
listen,
sir.
Here's your 4 squares, double ply, Charmin Ultra Soft for you, just what you requested. And listen, now with the ultimate level of
A little
luxury,
mail shoot.
be able to go instead of brushing your teeth, have a hygienist do a quick cleaning every morning. Would that be the ultimate level of luxury to have a dentist chair? If you chose, man, that is wild stuff. That is, by the way, smash YouTube, subscribe if you're not subscribing already.
Let's go.
Yeah, so smash the subscribe button, and you can get in on the YouTube conversation as well. I'll be honest with you. I got to try it before I say it's crazy, so I'll try it today. I'll put the toothpaste on first.
You can't put it back in the tube.
You
But you just got to put it right there.
I
on
know.
the teeth.
I know. I'm going to squirt too much because I'm not going to have the reference of the eyes and the tooth.
It's the size of a pea. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it is when you put it on the toothbrush because it's a reference.
I was
point.
told size didn't matter.
I'm gonna probably squirt too much. It's gonna be nasty. All that stuff. Now,
Just
what's
the
next?
pause button just getting worn out like the
He's
easy
gonna
button at
squirt too
Staples.
much.
What's next?
He's going to squirt too much into his mouth. Too much volume for him to handle.
There's way too much in there. I can't handle
I'm
this.
just
There's all
wondering.
this
Well,
white stuff on me.
Well, okay. All right, this is good. I did say it weird like that. What's
Yeah,
next?
it's too
You
good.
put the syrup on the hot fudge sundae and then the ice cream in your mouth. What's next?
Like
you put the chocolate, the cocoa powder. How about I just put the coffee grounds in my mouth, dump boiling water in my mouth, and swish it around? Is that next? Like, come on. Like, there's a little level of like, what's next here? You know? You don't
No,
like
there's
that
not.
reference?
I don't.
Leap that anybody's
Yeah,
making.
I don't. The coffee ground. Who's having the coffee grounds? If there's coffee grounds in my cup, I pour that cup out and get new cup.
I guess that's a
that'd be bad.
That's
Now
a good
I
reference.
do like the where you're going. Here. I like where you're
hot
trying to go.
chocolate. I mean, you do
Armen
mix
with the
powder.
Ovaltine. He
sure,
takes the
yeah.
dry powder and then swishes the milk around with his Ovaltine. That's how.
What
he
next? You put the buffaloes. You squirt the buffalo sauce in, and then eat the dry wing. Actually, that might not
Yeah,
be
you
that
dip
bad.
it in there. Yeah,
That
it's
might
not that crazy, right? Like people have been putting the milk in the cereal bowl before the cereal for a long time.
Oh, that's true. Keep the cereal.
It's been happening
crunchy.
for a lot longer than you would anticipate.
Keep the cereal crunchy, right?
Also, hot take from the world of baseball and football. Little news in here, one Drew, for Travis Kelce buying a piece of his hometown Cleveland Guardians. Hot take. People are trying to say that it was with Taylor Swift's money.
Oh, come on. He's got cash.
I think he's got enough money to be able to make the drop in the bucket donation. Now, they have not said exactly how much of the minority stake he is buying. He's a Cleveland guy, was just courtside at the Cavs game. They're valued at $1.7 billion, a stark increase from the $1 billion valuation they got in 2022. So a much different deal. However, he becomes another of the long line of guys over the last 5 or 6 years that are buying in on teams. LeBron James, Giannis, obviously with the Brewers.
They're just investments,
Aaron Rodgers with the Bucks, Cade Cunningham with the Rangers, but now into baseball even more. You've seen a lot of different teams.
What's going
a
on
lot
more
of athletes getting
steadily?
in there.
What's going on more steadily than values of franchises?
Nothing.
I mean, it's like
It's a fantasy world. You can lose money year over year in your books and still have your asset appreciate. It's fantasy world. But I think Aaron Rodgers put in, I heard, and it's unofficial, I heard that he put in like $5 million.
Yeah.
And it's probably now worth 20.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good investment.
And now I would like to know if we get Aaron back at a game. Like I would
cash out.
Can we get Aaron back in one game, sitting right next to Jimmy
he's
Haslam?
not
Someone's
dating
got to report on
Mallory Edens.
That's not happening.
That was the rumor. Remember?
Was in on that one.
She was good to see her back though at the draft again.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So she was back in the public eye, but now that he's married, although again, the underreported story in all of media and sports is like, how has Aaron Rodgers hidden his wife's identity and her name, image, likeness?
It's remarkable, dude.
Keep that the secret that he has.
Yeah.
Which again makes you think, is it a work?
Is it a work?
He is such a conspiracy theorist and a rug puller that I don't know, man. Maybe it is a work.
And he's
doing a sociological experiment.
How dare you? And then, but he's the type of guy that will come back in 10 years. So you see, you guys just believe it. You didn't think to ask. Remember, that was his thing.
Yeah, you asked the wrong question.
You didn't think
worded it wrong.
Now, by the way, that picture floating around on the internet is not her. That's a fake picture, apparently. There was a picture of someone with him. It was like an AI deal.
Nothing that even
genius stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of AI works on this one. I do think the one thing that it talks about with that it bodes for Aaron is that I fully believe him when he says, when I'm done playing football,
I'm out.
Peace. I'm gonna be hanging out in the rainforest. You're gonna have no clue. We're gonna find Aaron Rodgers in like 10 years. 5 or 10 years when he comes back for his jersey retirement at Lambeau Field.
Looking like a shaman.
What if he just had a Duck Dynasty beard?
Like a huge one, was just wearing some sort of
was
rags.
just living out in the Alps, lost
Yeah.
like 30 pounds, was just rail thing. I would not be stunned.
Yeah, selling you a tea, herbal teas and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that would be true. Although I do think he's going to want to golf and do those type of things and still be involved in the fancy stuff, like Kentucky Derby party and golfing. What's the big tournament?
Talking about the Tahoe one?
The Tahoe thing. So I don't think he'll be totally out of the public eye. I'm still curious about that. It will be interesting to know because eventually, we got to know, like, is he still an investor in the Bucks and things like that? So that would be good to know. But yeah, that would be the beard. I could see him growing a big beard because he already started it with the hair about 5-6 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
No, he didn't get it.
Some wild in there.
He's gotten it cut since then. So he didn't keep that thing going. But I love this from Austin and Spring Grove, by the way, the text line on the NickLayLaw.com talking text line. Before I forget, I have to read this one. Talking about those baskets in the weddings and stuff like that with the cologne and in the clubhouse. I thought for the longest time the venues supply those wedding baskets in the bathroom until I got married and my wife was filling one up. Mind blown. I love that. Way to participate. That's a good stuff, Austin. That's good stuff right there.
That's pretty funny. All right. 877-794-1973. Time for our current electric superhero of the day. And because of everything that's happening, I'm leaning towards Hunter Baumgardt.
I was just going to say, dude, we're going to get Hunter in here to have a conversation with Josh Maurer. Great report on the Brewers yesterday. Now, some honorable mentions, 3-hit night for Christian Yelich, homer for Jake Bauers, and a pretty impressive crab walk as well for Jake Bauers yesterday.
That's a smart play. I explained it to Laura why that was, she was like,
Pretty
what is it?
good,
I've never seen that in a baseball field.
Pretty good blast, 420 feet for Garrett Mitchell, too?
That was, and he had been waiting for that one, and he needed it, desperately needed it. The one hit out of three strikeouts, but a 3-run shot. That'll work. Earl Weaver would have loved that one. Pitching, defense, and 3-run homers, the best recipe in all of baseball. Right. And probably an honorable mention for Kyle Harrison in their 6 innings, 4 hits, no earnies. Him and Mizorowski on the month of May. Now, Miz will get one more start in the month, so these numbers are some unofficial. 59 and a third innings pitched, and a whopping combined 4 earned runs. Oof. I mean, that's just a disgusting run that these two have been on, and it's remarkable to see that Craig Breslow even answers the phone. Like, if indeed Matt Arnold ever calls Craig Breslow while he is still the general manager of the Boston Red Sox, I would hit report spam so quickly on that thing. It would be instant.
Blocked and reported
right away, because I would want no parts of making another trade with the Brewers if I'm the Red Sox.
Actually, you got to send him like a fruit basket or something every year.
He might need an edible arrangement.
Like,
yeah, you're
thanks
right.
for everything. Just every Christmas, send the family maybe some sort of edible arrangement or some
or does he just send a
nuts.
Christmas card of him standing in the outfield with Kyle Harrison and Quinn Priester?
One of those Newski's bacon deals, or with the card.
Some Omaha steaks.
Yeah, make that the frame picture of him with those guys. Man, that has really worked out well for the Brewers.
Pretty good.
Best trade since Quinn Priester.
Right?
That's
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
It.
You got to add both of them in there. And listen, the best thing other than all of those guys that we mentioned, Current Electric. Call current.com. The superheroes at Current Electric for a couple more days. Month of May is almost up, but they got a special for you going on right now. $150 off any outdoor lighting package. So if you're looking to show off that landscaping, just keep the family safe, or want to be the true envy of your neighborhood and turn that little backyard that you got into an outdoor oasis that everybody in the hood is walking by saying, I need to be at Jimmy's place. I think Saturday night we need to be at the Sarian house, right? That is the one that you want to be. You want to be that house on the block. So make sure you call Current Electric, and the superheroes will help you slide an extra $150 into your pocket and make your backyard the outdoor lighting spectacular that it should be.
Excellent. When we come back, we will hear from Hunter Baumgardt and Josh Maurer, one of the radio voices of your Milwaukee Brewers, as they talk about the Uecker documentary, which is coming to theater soon. We'll have the information for you on the other side. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Huddle Wednesday edition, Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you from headquarters here in the Megaplex. And Hot Take Hump Day will still take them 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Hunter Baumgardt was our current electric hero of the day. Callcurrent.com is the website. Check them out. You'll see the superhero vans all over as they're helping people out. And Hunter is our superhero because he gave us a Brewers report on the 6-0 victory last evening with good stuff. Reaction from Uribe and Pat Murphy. Well, as it turns out, Hunter Baumgardt also caught up with Brewers radio play-by-play voice Josh Maurer about the Uecker documentary coming out later this summer. Now, I missed it at the Milwaukee Film Festival. I missed the debut. I had a lot of FOMO about that. Did not go. Saw the Pat McCurdy documentary, which was really good.
Pretty dang good.
Looking forward to seeing the Uecker documentary. It's probably one of those like the Just a Bit Outside, the 82 Brewers doc that I've seen 3 or 4 times. Probably see it multiple times because
yes.
Because it's Ueck. Mm-hmm. But our Hunter Baumgardt caught up with Josh Maurer. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. And Josh, I really appreciate you doing this and excited to talk about this documentary film that I know a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing if they haven't already. First, I want to ask you, for those obviously who do not know, the Ueck documentary coming out in Marcus theaters throughout Wisconsin, coming up Friday, July 24th. That is the date, so you can watch for details on timing and which theaters it'll be released in the coming weeks. It's described as a hilarious and intimate feature-length documentary about Bob Uecker. And Josh, you've seen the documentary. We'll get to that in a moment, but you obviously had the privilege of working with Bob Uecker for a little while and being around him towards the end of his tenure in the booth. Give us a little insight as to what that was like for you and maybe even the time you met him or whatever story may come to mind with that. I'm sure a lot do, but what was that experience like for you?
It was one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had. And I'm not exaggerating. First of all, thank you for having me, Hunter, to talk about this film. I'm so fortunate because for someone who worked in the minor leagues for almost 2 decades, which was what I did before I came to Milwaukee, I had thought that maybe my career was never even going to get up to the major league level, that I'd never be a major league broadcaster full time. And then all of a sudden I was getting considered to be hired by the Brewers. And lo and behold, the last step of that hiring process was to meet Bob Uecker. And so on a chilly morning, I was flown out to Milwaukee and I was having breakfast with this icon who I had known my whole life from Major League and Mr. Belvedere, and hardly as an outsider to the area even really realized that he was the 50-plus year voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. But here I was sitting face to face to him and for almost 2 hours listening to him tell stories that made your insides want to burst because you're laughing so hard. And I thought, well, if I don't get hired, at least I had this. At least I had these 2 hours with Bob. And I did get hired, as you know. And for 3 years, I got to share a booth with Bob and get to know him as a person and listen to him tell his stories like nobody else could. And it was 3 years that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. It was one of the most amazing experiences, as I said, that any broadcaster, really anybody in any facet of life could ask for, to be around Bob.
No doubt about it. And after seeing the documentary, your review, and I just want to read this and kind of get into it. Your review after seeing this Ueck doc was, this fantastic retrospective gives an intimate view inside the booth of Bob Uecker's Brewers Radio Network that longtime listeners will cherish. Fans of Bob's will not just laugh and cry, but also learn so much of the inner workings of how he turned the game broadcasts into must-listen events for decades. And that's exactly what it was in Wisconsin for so many decades. You talk to Brewers fans everywhere and they'll agree. What kind of made you have that takeaway after watching this Ueck documentary?
What is interesting, I think, that even surprised me a little bit, having seen the great crew working on this documentary really from the outset. I thought that the idea was just here's Bob Uecker's life as a retrospective. And this is what this documentary is going to be, from when he was a young kid in Milwaukee until an old man working as a broadcaster. But what the documentary really does do is focus a lot on the inner workings of that booth, which was his most cherished part of his life, was the Brewers radio network, and how it worked, how he worked within it, and especially towards the end, how things played out as Bob ended up getting sick. So I think what you're going to really be amazed about is how much inside access that the filmmakers were given and how much they're able to share of the end of Bob's tenure in the booth. As that played itself out, you kind of watch it from a behind the scenes look that doesn't exist anywhere else. It's really fascinating. And having been part of that, it was emotional for me. But I just look back at it and you marvel at what Bob was able to do for the last couple of years as he was battling an illness that was terminal. And these filmmakers, Michael Volman, Steve Farr, and their entire team just do an unbelievable job of giving you that access and making you feel like you were a fly on the wall there for the end of Bob's broadcasting career.
Yeah, the September Club began documenting his life during spring training of 2023. So for nearly 2 years, Bob fully welcomed the film crews into his life and allowing them to film extensively with him, with his colleagues, and with his family in Milwaukee, Arizona, and throughout the country. And what was that like for you? I mean, were you kind of surprised with how much maybe they were there and given access to, and just thought, okay, this might be something pretty special once it all, comes to light?
We were just kind of amazed, that Bob had agreed to this, because Bob could be a pretty private person when it came to that stuff. But the great thing was these filmmakers, again, Steve Farr and Michael Volman, who are the co-producers, or co-directors, I should say, they had earned Bob's trust before he greenlit the project. And so once Bob said, okay, you guys are in, then they were really in. And there was nothing that was off limits. So for those couple of seasons, we saw so many of those guys in and around our broadcast booth, just kind of being flies on the wall. And they were so good about not interfering with anything that was going on otherwise within or without the broadcast. And so we got to know them. They kind of became part of the fabric of the booth for those 2023 and 2024 seasons. And that was kind of fun to be around and to have the cameras and the lights and the microphones as part of our presence when we did these home broadcasts when Bob was around for those last couple of years.
Josh Maurer joining us here on the Huddle. Hunter Baumgardt with you, Brewers radio play-by-play voice. So it sounds like this, and you have a unique perspective on this, having seen and met and worked with Bob in your career, and then seeing this film. It sounds like this film captures who Bob Uecker was and really gives a great glimpse as to what his life was like, especially in the broadcast booth.
It does. It's going to paint the entire picture, but it does focus very specifically on the booth and what he did for the Brewers radio network. And as I said earlier, Hunter, I truly believe that of everything he accomplished, and there are so many things that he did, one thing that he treasured most was that broadcast entity, was the Brewers radio broadcasts that he did for over 50 years and did as well as any major league broadcaster has ever done it. That was, I think, if you asked him, what do I cherish as my most prized accomplishment in my career, it would say it was what I did on the radio for the Brewers. And that, I think, would surprise some people. But if you knew the man, it wouldn't at all, because baseball was always the number one love. And specifically for those 5+ decades, it was the radio broadcast for the Brewers that meant the most to Bob. So it does focus very heavily on that, the Ueck documentary. But of course, you're going to see all the great clips from the Belvedere shows and the Miller Lite commercials, and of course, Major League. It's all in there. And there's some great anecdotes that you'll learn from those parts of his life as well.
Yeah, and the great trailer is out, giving you a glimpse into it. Again, the movie will open in Marcus theaters throughout Wisconsin Friday, July 24th. Did anything surprise you in the documentary? That you were like, oh, that either that you didn't know, or just surprise you that it was in it? Anything kind of surprise you while you were watching it?
I think the thing that was new to me was so much of the historical footage and photographs that the filmmakers were able to dig up and involve in the movie as they told Bob's life story. You're really able to see it from a young age. And you see a man that we got to know his face and his voice later on in life, but you're going to see it from the very beginning in this documentary. So that was really kind of cool to me to see a much, much different, younger Bob Uecker from the beginning, back in his high school days, and even younger than that. And when he went into the Army before he ever signed a professional baseball contract, there are some great, great gems that they kind of, they were able to dig it up and include it in here. And I think people that thought that they knew everything about Bob, they're going to be like, wow, okay, I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I know a lot of people are super excited. Again, circle your calendars, make a note, set a reminder, whatever you have to do. Friday, July 24th is when it's going to open. And Josh has seen it and a few others have, and its rave reviews have come back. Josh, I really appreciate the time this morning talking about the Ueck documentary. And boy, it's super special that they put this together.
It really is. And Hunter, thank you so much for letting me come on and talk about it. We can't wait for everybody across the state to be able to finally see this in July.
Absolutely. He is Josh Maurer, radio play-by-play voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter. Current Electric superhero of the day, Hunter Baumgardt, doing the work for us. Great conversation with Josh Maurer about the doc that's coming out. I can't wait to see it. And I'm telling you guys, like, what I expect from it and what people don't know about Ueck is what an absolute horse the guy was. Hardcore and I talked about it all the time. He lived through 10 things that would have killed 10 other men.
Most people, yes.
And the dude had he was Iron Man.
He had incredible. And worked all the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, an insane desire to live and be around ball and to be able to fight and just battle through some incredible stuff. Hearing the access, and Drew, you saw at least a little bit of it, like seeing those guys around the documentary filmmakers for a while. It's, man, that final couple of days, that final playoff run, that final playoff game is going to be emotional. Like, I wonder if that's going to be a big part of it. Like, I'm very excited to see what they include, what you don't anticipate that they'll include, that they do put in. Very, very excited to see it.
I'm sure it's well done. You can't do a bad doc with Ueck. You just can't.
No, but I mean, like the other thing is, like, that Josh alluded to there. I think one of the interesting things is that he agreed to do it. Right. Like,
absolutely.
As such a private person, I'm glad that he agreed to towards the end of his broadcasting life and at the end of his life, allow that story to be told, because it's one that should be honored for generations.
And sacrificing a little bit of his privacy for those moments of posterity for all of us to enjoy a more revealing look at him and his life and have it preserved now for history. So, obviously very excited to see this thing. And, I'm sure it's going to be, as much as we've known, and it feels like we've known Bob through what he's done in the broadcast, world, and just becoming our companion at our homes on the radio. The idea that there's more to know about him is exciting for all of us to remember, honor him forever. And that's exciting to know.
It's going to be fun. The doc will be, again, in Marcus Theaters beginning in July. We'll keep you more posted on the events. Can't wait to see it because I have not yet. So, going to have to check that box. All right. Closing ceremonies upon us already on the Wednesday edition. Got to love having a short week like this. We're already through Wednesday.
Always works.
And we're on to Thursday tomorrow. Brewers and the Cardinals tonight, or this afternoon, 12:40, first pitch at American Family Field. We'll be talking about that. When we come back, however, it's waking and bacon time.
Oh, we got something for you.
HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy's got one holstered up you're not going to want to miss. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Closing ceremonies arriving already. Some folks might just be waking up. We've been here since 5.
Thanks for joining us.
But
We're
some
ready for
folks
you.
might just be waking up. So it's time for our Wake and Bake story presented by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Rob and Chris work out of Muskego, make the best CBD products you'll find anywhere. Love the Drift Seltzer, love the Drift Gummies, love all the gummies. It's part of our daily routine. You can find something that will help you at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Use the code HUDDLE, and you will get 25% off and free shipping every time you go to the well. The code is HUDDLE. The website is HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy, what do you got for Waking and Bacon?
Well, we got a couple of interesting ones. First, I mean, this might not be a great wake and bake story, but they might have been at the moment. 3 suspects reported in a 2024 burglary of Bobby Portis's home in Milwaukee, arrested in Argentina yesterday. As ABC News reported, that 3 citizens were wanted in the U.S. on federal charges and investigation in connection to burglaries targeting Portis's home, as well as, second time that we've mentioned Travis Kelce on the show, and Patrick Mahomes. 2 of those suspects are among 5 people arrested in connection with a robbery at a home in of an Argentinian tennis player. That crime occurred earlier this month. So they just tried one too many times. One too many times and finally got nipped. But I think my favorite Wake and Bake story came from, actually, Armen Sarian let it cross my wire, of Tom Dundon, who has now found himself twice into the Wake and Bake story, the new owner of the Portland Trail Blazers, who laid off 70 Portland Trail Blazers employees over the last couple of weeks in what he said was a little bit of a wellness time, recalibration and trimming the fat. People are happy. The quote, Drew, in response to why did you fire or lay off those employees and how is it going to make your workplace better? Quote, people are happier when they're busy and productive. Wow. And more people just creates more problems. Usually, I think Portland has had too many people. The business I'm going to run like you run every other business. Now, people are going to look at it, say, how dare he? This is ridiculous. He's not going to do anything positive. Tom Dundon might know a little bit more about running a successful sports organization than you would think, as he owns the Carolina Hurricanes, who are in the Eastern Conference Final once again.
They're successful.
And we're one of the best teams over the last 5 years in hockey. Different sport, true. However, we said it earlier when we started. We're running a business here.
We're running a business.
If I'm looking around saying how many of these people are not doing enough, Tom Dundon said, let's work harder, not smarter, and less people. So all of you, goodbye. But you're going to be way happier.
Yeah.
You're going to be way happier working a little bit more.
Well, and the ones that aren't going to be working anymore, I don't think they're going to be happy. But I will say this. You're right about what you're saying about the business. However, hockey is different than the NBA. We've noted that before about Tom Dundon. And I would say the goal, it's not like any other business really, because running a professional sports team, the goal, people look at the goal differently. Yes, the goal is to make money, but the goal is to win on the court or the field or the rink. And not all of that is the same type of winning you would do in a business. Now, usually you'll make money anyway in a pro sports franchise. But the Hurricanes are winning, and whether he should get credit for it, well, he will. The owners get credit, so he's going to get some.
I think he deserves a decent amount of credit when you look at where the organization was before he bought it and where it is now. And I do understand, yes, they're different sports and the athletes might be different, but the money-making operation is rather similar. 41 home games, 43 home games when you include preseason into there. Like that part of the process, the business side of it might be a lot more similar than you think.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it works in Portland. Now, I mean, can he replicate that success? If it's not necessarily going to win him any votes in the public, but that's not necessarily his goal either, right? Is to get people to think he's cool. I don't think he's trying to be like
his goal is to make money and win games.
Yeah. No, it's like the different approach than Utah
Mammoth head owner Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith, who wants to high five fans, give out jerseys. I'm one of you. We'll see what happens. There's 2 ways to skin a cat, and Tom is going for this one. He's getting all of it. So
there you go.
We're cutting this fat. We're trimming this fat. He went in like a weight loss program. Let's trim some of this fat down here on the sides.
Wake and Bake brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com.
You'll be way happier.
Code HUDDLE 25%
That's some
off
gaslighting.
And free shipping.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
You'll be way happier. Just work a little bit harder, add a couple more tasks on there. It'll be a lot better for you.
A little more than about 3 hours and 10 minutes from right now. Matt LaFleur steps to the microphone. I don't know if there'll be a podium or not. He's going to be doing it outside not in the fancy new media setup, but going to do it outside at the Hudson Center by Nitschke Field there.
I wondered if maybe
ready for an OTA.
I kind of wondered after yesterday's situation if maybe they would have moved it inside, thinking maybe there would be a few more people. But yeah, expected to be out, and it's going to be quick.
Now, again, if not for the Josh Jacobs legal situation, the lead questions would have been Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin's injury report, Tucker Kraft, Devontae Wyatt, others who were Micah Parsons. What's the status of those guys that are coming back from injury? How do you treat it during OTAs and all that? We'll get some of that, but the first questions are obviously going to be about Josh Jacobs. And then he'll dismiss them.
In 10, no comments, or I already made a comment there. I'll point it towards our team comment. I'll point it towards the comment that our organization put out, because there's not much that he can comment on otherwise.
Can a coach even say he's disappointed? Like, I'm disappointed that this is a story. And I know Josh, like in our locker room, he's great. He's been an exemplary teammate and football player.
I think that back end part he probably will try to slide in.
Is there any support that you show? Because if it turns out bad, whoops.
Yeah, I think, Drew, if anything, maybe he gives the cautionary of we do need to reserve full judgment until the courts play out their process. Like, there'll be part of that.
We don't have the information.
But
I've not talked to Josh. He can say that because I'm
I haven't talked to Josh.
He's been talking to his lawyers.
The easiest thing in all of this is to tell the truth. Right. And as tough as it sounds, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, the truth is exactly the statement. Mm-hmm. They are aware of the situation. All of us are. They can only allow the legal proceedings to play out on all different fronts, whether it's if you're going to go and sign Najee Harris to be an additional guy into the backfield, or if, hey, maybe Josh Sweat wants out of Arizona and you're like, wait, 18 million there, 11 million in cap savings. You're doing those mathematics. But again, they can't do that right now because they don't know the full. They don't know the full ramifications.
Otherwise, it would be Injury Talk with Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin or the Wisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, world-class care right here at home. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Take advantage of it, man.
There is a difference. Best in the area. All right, so tomorrow, let's see. No NBA tonight. They're off.
Nope. Brewers early.
Travel day. Brewers play early, and then the Brewers are heading into an off day. We're going to have a pretty wide open slate tomorrow. Talking about Packers and whatever comes from OTAs and Matt LaFleur's press conference.
Give us something, brother. Give us something at the press conference. We can't take 10 straight no comments. Let's get some real juicy stuff on Tucker Kraft. Hey, maybe Brandon Cisse, he calls out to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who knows?
We'll see.
That would help us.
We'll see you at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Peace.